On the banks of the mighty Mississippi River, two HBC rivals with pride on the line. On the banks of the mighty Mississippi River, two HBC rivals with pride on the line. The Jackson State Tigers beat the Tennessee State Tigers. It's the Southern Heritage Classic, now from the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee, a spectacular September Saturday and second annual Southern Heritage Classic. Tennessee State and Jackson State. They are the two most frequent participants in the Southern Heritage Classic. They meet once again tonight here at Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. And we welcome you inside Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. Pete Pranica, Rod Smith on hand. And Rod, what a difference a year makes, particularly for Jackson State. 365 days ago, they were staring at a 7-game losing streak in the Southern Heritage Classic, coming off a losing record the previous year. But head coach Rick Comagee wanted to do two things. Number one, he wanted to stop the losing streak in the Southern Heritage Classic, and B, get his team on the plus side of 500. Well, they did that. They went 8-3 a year ago, those 3 losses by a combined 12 points. This year, they think they can run the table. Why? Well, they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the nation in Casey Terrio.
Yeah, Casey, the All-American quarterback, is a superstar. He has an incredible football IQ, and you hear that quite a bit. What I mean by that is quarterback position, he can recognize defenses, especially pre-snap. He understands which wide receiver is going to come open, and most importantly, he knows when to deliver the football and where to deliver the football, and that's what makes him a great quarterback.
He was third in passing yardage in football championship subdivision a year ago. He is a senior. He is dynamic. He is fantastic and a lot of fun to watch. Might not be a lot of fun for Tennessee State head coach Rod Reed to watch in his second season. Last year, a disappointment. They lose their last 6 games of the year. They lost the Southern Heritage Classic in disappointing fashion. They're going to rely on Rico Council, their defensive captain and stalwart in the middle.
You're right, and Rico is a 4-year starter, the team's leading tackler, and we can talk ad nauseum about what kind of great athlete he is. What impresses me when you do some study on this kid is he gets respect where respect is due, and that's from the other coaches in the Ohio Valley Conference. They voted him preseason co-defensive player of the year, and that's not just because of his stats or his speed, it's because he's a leader and a good football player. Both
of these teams won their opener last Saturday. Jackson State tries to make it 2 in a row over Tennessee State in the Southern Heritage Classic. Pomp, pageantry, and high-scoring football. It's on the way next, including Rod's keys to the game. A big-time party atmosphere here around Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium as Jackson State and Tennessee State tangle in the Southern Heritage Classic. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams in the Southern Heritage Classic have been decided by a touchdown or less. And when you look at the history of this series, you see an awful lot of close games. This is the 46th meeting overall. 24-19 and 2, Tennessee State with the edge there. Tennessee State had won 7 straight in the Southern Heritage Classic, but last year Jackson State ended that streak. And Rod Smith, it was pretty controversial fashion. Now Jackson State is up 7 in the 4th quarter, about 2 minutes left. A fumble, and Tennessee State thinks Jeremy Perry and Joseph Hills have tied the ball game.
Well, you look at his foot and the ball, that is a catch, should be 7 points. It was overruled, out of bounds.
But pass interference was called. Last play of the game. Perry, the overthrow. Look at the clock.
Wait a minute, right there. You got 2 seconds left on the clock. They should have had another snap. They got robbed. I'll say it. Robbed.
You said it at the time, and you have said it again. Speaking of Rod Smith saying things, how about the AutoZone keys to the game?
Well, for Tennessee State, we'll start with them on offense. They've got to find a way to eliminate the drive-killing penalties. They had 6 pre-snaps penalties last week. 5 of of those kill drives. You cannot win football games giving away 30 to 40% of your offensive snaps. On defense, Tennessee State, they've got to get some 3-and-outs. Casey, the All-American quarterback, will eat you up if you let him get comfortable in the passing game. He'll put 50 on you. They've got to get 3-and-outs. For JSU, hey, your quarterback, Casey Thoreau's got to be strong today. Last week he got off to a fast start, played horrible in the second half. He's the best player in Memphis right now, and he needs to play like the best player in Memphis. Defensively, they've got to stop the TSU run game, all right, the Stampede. Rod Reed is a former All-American running back. His father was an All-American guard. If he had his way, he would open the game with 15 consecutive rushes. Jackson State has got to step up and get the run game stopped if they want to have any success in this game today.
Jackson State will kick off. Chris Salita, a true freshman, will kick off. Travis James to the top of your screen, joined by Martine Stevenson, number 36. Eager to see Chris Salita, freshman from Macomb, Michigan. Has a pretty good leg. He will also punt for Jackson State, and a very, very short kick taken by one of the up men. And out to about the 29-yard line before the up man is tackled. So 1st and 10 for Tennessee State, and Jeremy Perry, a redshirt senior and actually a graduate student, wearing number 7 for Tennessee State at the controls. Tennessee State last week, a win over Southern, 15 of 31, 1 touchdown and no interceptions. They work from an I formation on this 1st and 10 play from the 29-yard line. Slanting it off to the left, Travis Ward on the carry. Picks up a couple of yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Travis Ward had a huge day against Southern with 141 yards, averaged almost 8 a carry in the win over Southern last Saturday.
And Rod Reed starts the game in a power I formation and runs it off tackle, a little stretch play, trying to get the interior lineman for Jackson State on the move. He's not going to run directly at him. He's going to try to work the edges.
Ward and Jonte Gleaves. Ward eluding a tackler, getting out to the 41-yard line. That'll be good for a Tennessee State 1st down. Richard Hughes and Milt Patterson combine on the tackle for Jackson State 1st down Tigers.
Well, we got great blocking here by the guards on both sides of the center. Great job of sealing the 2 bigs for Jackson State and giving the running back Ward a lane to get in the 2nd level.
Ward scored 1 touchdown in the 33-7 win over Southern last Saturday, the most decisive win of Rod Reed's career. 2nd year as the head coach at Tennessee State. 3 receivers to the near side. Perry double clutches, and his pass intended for Travis James on the sideline is incomplete as James was out of bounds. The junior from Fort Lauderdale had 3 grabs last Saturday, including a touchdown. As that was the 1 touchdown hookup for Jeremy Perry last Saturday. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
You know, in Tennessee State falls into something that they've been doing recently, and that's every time there's a run for a 1st down, they follow it up with a pass. They try it, incomplete, puts them in 2nd and long situation.
2nd down and 10. And no gain on the play. Travis Ward working the right side, where he is taken down by Joseph LeBeau, a junior from Marrero, Louisiana.
Well, LeBeau does a great job of recognizing the stretch play and getting down the line of scrimmage. Look at that. That's about a 15-yard run, getting down the line of scrimmage to make that play for just a yard gain.
LeBeau last season at Arkansas Baptist Community College before transferring to Jackson State. 3rd down and 9 for Jeremy Perry and the Tennessee State Tigers. Offset I formation. Perry under pressure. Going to try to make a play with his feet, dives, but will be a couple of yards short of the 1st down. He needed the Jackson State side of the 50-yard line, does not get there. Perry, a gifted runner, taken down by John McNabb, a sophomore from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And the Jackson State defense is able to get a stop. Tennessee State again, Rod, if you want to characterize these two teams, Jackson State will throw it. Tennessee State will want to run it as much as possible.
Well, there's no question about it. And, you know, you can see Jeremy Perry's development this year versus last year. He avoided the sack. Number one, he kept his eyes down the field, tried to complete a pass. There wasn't anything available. He got as many yards as he could, and without risking the fumble, got on the ground and protected the field position, because they're in great field position here.
And a whistle stops play. Delay of game called against Tennessee State. Matt Mosley, a freshman from Franklin, Tennessee, back to punt, and Rico Richardson back to receive. Our first penalty of the game. Rod, that was a big storyline last year in this game. Just a ton of penalties.
And last week, as far as Tennessee State's concerned, they had 11 for 80 yards. You can't win football games with those kind of stats.
Richardson back near his 10-yard line, but this is off the side of Mosley's foot.
Oh.
Freshman jitters, I would say. And the linesman is walking and marks it at the 38-yard line. 17-yard punt, kind of a rugby-style kick.
Wow, I'm surprised that wasn't called for running into the kicker.
That was Mike Hill, number 35, who made contact, but no penalty called on the play. There's Casey Terrio, senior from Wyoming Park, Michigan. Really a remarkable story, how he has gotten to this point in his life. And we will detail that story in greater depth. From the 38, quick pass. Marcellus Wilder with blockers and room inside the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and a touchdown for Marcellus Wilder. 62 yards on the first play from scrimmage for Jackson State.
Wow, they're just looking to dump the ball in the flat, get the quarterback warmed up, get the ball in your number one wide receiver's hands earlier in the game, hopefully move the chains, and he springs it for 6. Great run by Wilder after the catch.
He was the leading receiver last year for Jackson State with 57 catches, had 8 touchdowns, and that is his first of this year. The PAT by Jabril Smith is true. We are less than 5 minutes in, and Jackson State, a quick strike offense. Casey Terrio, Marcellus Wilder, yards after the catch, a good downfield block, and see ya, Marcellus Wilder, and the Jackson State Tigers lead pass. 7. Marcellus Wilder with blockers and room. The Southern Heritage Classic on Sports South is brought to you in part by FedEx, solutions that matter. By AutoZone, get in the zone, AutoZone. And by Carrier, turn to the experts. Well, you talked about Casey Terrio making quick decisions and smart decisions. Exhibit A, the first play from scrimmage.
You know, and it's Casey's call on where that ball goes. As the play comes in for the sidelines, it's merely the formation. Casey made the call and switched it to that quick flare screen.
Good return working for Travis James. Quay Cox making the stop. 20-yard return.
Yeah, it's just a bubble screen meant to get your quarterback into the game, complete his first ball, but oop, we got a miss there. Miss number 2, touchdown. You cannot miss tackles at the second level in defense. Bill Parcells used to always tell us, once the ball gets to the second level, it is the responsibility of the first person who approaches the ball carrier to make the tackle. Grab his shoestrings, grab his jersey, grab your face mask if you have to. Get him on the ground.
Missed tackles costing Tennessee State. 1st and 10. Perry with a flare out to Devin Wilson just inside Jackson State territory. Ridden out of bounds by Quay Cox. Devin Wilson, 5 catches last Saturday against Southern, and a first down for Tennessee State on an 11-yard pickup between Perry and Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson is becoming Perry's go-to guy. You know, as the game wore on last week, he started looking for Wilson. Here he is in the flat.
does a great job of getting the ball delivered to the wideout.
Ball at the 49, Tennessee State. Handoff. Dante Thomas, good hard run across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. And we talked earlier about Travis Ward. Dante Thomas, head coach Rod Reed said these guys are pretty much interchangeable. He said literally it is a flip of a coin who's going to be in, who's ever hot, who's ever more rested and ready to go. And Dante Thomas, a redshirt senior from Dallas, carries for another Tennessee State first down.
Yeah, Thomas probably a little lighter on his feet, a little quicker, a little niftier than Ward. He's more of a bruiser, but both guys are equally as effective moving the football.
We should point out Jackson State without Tim Dandridge, one of their defensive stalwarts, suspended for the first half of tonight's ball game, and a good initial penetration by Milt Patterson. Dante Thomas had nowhere to run and loses a couple on the play. Jonathan Billups was there to finish him off, but it was good penetration by Milt Patterson, a junior from Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, Rod Reed has a ton of respect for number 93 Billups and number 57 McLeod in the middle of that Jackson State defense. He said to me, Rod, I'm going to try to get those big guys moving side to side to run right at him. Will lead you to a quick defeat. So there we tried to trap. It didn't work out. Let's see if they go back to the run or try to put the ball in the air.
Second down and 12 from the 40 for Jeremy Perry. Out of the gun, feels pressure, tucks it, and is dropped at the 36-yard line.
You know, you can almost hear Rod Reed, after especially watching Perry last year in this game in his first start, look so disheveled, expected for any first-year starter. But you look at him this year, when he drops back and looks for a wide receiver, if it's not open, you know, what does he do now? He tucks the thing, runs it, advances the football, puts him in a positive situation. Last year in that same spot, we saw him repeatedly throw the ball out of bounds or into coverage. Now he's tucking it and running it. He's grown as a quarterback.
Perry now facing third and long again from the gun. Looks to his right. Oh, and a drop right in the breadbasket of Jeremy Pryor. Had 27 catches a year ago, and he pats his pads and says, you know what? That's on me.
Yeah, Perry does a good job of waiting for the underneath receiver to come clear. And God, I don't know what it is, but it just hurts my soul when I see a guy drop a wide open ball. Does everybody just wince? God, that's so tough.
Tough luck for Jeremy Perry on the drop by Jeremy Pryor. Fourth down, Jackson State. That's Rico Richardson at his 10-yard line. Matt Mosley's first punt, I believe 17 yards. And that, at least in some part, is what gave Jackson State a little bit of momentum. And for the second time, boy, you talk about pre-snap penalties. I've never seen delay of game twice on a punt team.
There is no foul for delay of game because Tennessee State has called their first timeout.
Oh, Tennessee State had called timeout, or it would have been delay of game. So Tennessee State and head coach Rod Reed taking its first timeout of the evening.
Which is a huge shocker, because they're such a disciplined organization. For them to have two miscues on the punt team is amazing.
Tennessee State a year ago got off to a great start. They were 3-2. They lose their last 6. They were in a lot of ball games, but the problem, Rod, really in that 6-game losing streak, they were scoring 14, 15, 16 points a game on average, and that is not enough to win.
Yeah, their offense was in tough shape. You had a first-year starter, a quarterback. You lose your All-American running back at Game 5 last year, and they just had no way to move the football. The defense wasn't bad, but offense was awful last year.
Yeah, Preston Brown ran for a classic record 214 yards last year. And this punt is going to hit at the 1 and bounce into the end zone. And so a touchback. Jackson State with 9:24 remaining in the first quarter. Possession when we come back of the ball and a 7-point lead.
What's going on here?
Hey, what's up, guys?
This is not how witness protection works.
Well, we set you up with that little hardware store. We didn't intend for your face to be everywhere.
The FedEx office makes it so easy. Not only do they ship stuff, they print flyers, brochures, everything I need to get my name out there.
That's the problem. Now we need to give you a third identity.
You're Paul Matheson, and you're gonna run your business into the ground.
Eric Gustafson would never do that.
There is no Eric Gustafson.
Hey, that's Eric Gustafson!
There is no Eric Gustafson.
Small business solutions. FedEx. Solutions that matter.
Childhood is an amazing adventure story that's filled with all sorts of surprises, where unexpected things happen and where heroes of every shape and size can be found. The ever-unfolding story of childhood is why Labana Children's Hospital is here, to provide a common thread of exceptional care for all the amazing characters of childhood, the artists, dreamers, princesses, and astronauts, heroes one and all.
A little to the left.
And very excited because their team is up 7-0. They beat Division III Concordia last Saturday 44-2. Led it 14-0 after one quarter. They've only needed one play to get a 7-0 lead. This is B.J. Lee straight ahead. Pickup of 4 brings up 2nd down and 6. B.J. Lee did not play in the game against Concordia. He's been nursing a sore hamstring, so Rakeem Sims picked up the slack. But B.J. Lee is a guy, a water bug type runner at 5'7", 185, a junior out of Ridgeland, Mississippi.
Yeah, a good football player. He's undersized, but he's still solid in pass protection. He has great hands, so he's valuable coming out of the backfield, catching it.
When talking with Casey Terrio yesterday, he said that Jackson State wants to play quickly with tempo. Off play action on 2nd down. Deep ball well overthrown and picked off. The interception made by Rayshawn Weatherspoon, and he returns it to about the 46-yard line. A 6-yard return on the interception.
Well, it's a great job by Rayshawn getting the ball at the highest point. But as far as Case is concerned, we talked about him stepping into his throws. He's a body thrower. He can't throw it off his back foot. He doesn't throw it with pure arm. He throws it by turning his torso, planting his back foot, throwing the ball with technique. When he gets pressure in his face, you're going to see some balls sail. You're going to see some inaccuracy, and that's exactly what happened.
1st down and 10. Tennessee State at the 46. Perry got his man. Travis James takes it the distance. 54 yards on the hookup from Perry to Travis James. James's 2nd touchdown of the season.
Oh my, what a throw by Perry. Are you kidding me? Now that was off his back foot with the wide receiver who was well covered and laid it right over the outside shoulder. Bang, touchdown. What a great throw that was.
Jamin Godfrey on to attempt the extra point. Jeremy Perry is very soft-spoken. Obviously, Terrio gets a lot of the publicity, and rightly so, as the PAT is good to tie the ball game at 7. But Jeremy Perry said, you know what? This is my last time to play in front of a home crowd. I want to make it count, and boy, does it ever. All even at 7. Hometown hero Jeremy Perry throws the touchdown to tie the game at 7.
How many ways can you be comfortable? An energy-efficient Infinity air conditioner by Carrier can save you up to 56% on your cooling costs, while also reducing your impact on the environment, which is better for where you live and better for where we all live. Contact the experts at 1-800-CARRIER or carrier.com.
Big-time cravings mean big-time savings. Checkers Cha-Ching. Our new Chipotle barbecue burger loaded with crispy bacon and American cheese, mushroom Swiss burger, or bacon cheddar crisp. All just $1 each. Checkers, feast on.
This week, all of us will pause to remember a day that changed the world. By giving back to our communities, serving our friends and neighbors, and coming together with family, we at Ingalls join you in defiance of those who did us harm, and in celebration.
Well, Welcome back to Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. A shootout in the offing. 7-7 Tennessee State and Jackson State. You're looking at Travis James, a junior from Fort Lauderdale, on the receiving end of a Jeremy Perry rainbow. 54 yards in distance to square the game at 7.
Yeah, a great throw. But I also appreciate the call by Rod Reed. They had the ball around the 50-yard line midfield. Everybody in the world knows if you're on defense, that means take a shot, especially after coming off a successful run play. A great throw, wonderful catch, outstanding play call.
Rico Richardson is back deep. Jamin Godfrey. And Richardson will run up and grab this at the 14. Richardson. Met helmet comes off and down he goes. Dreadlocks in his wake at the 26-yard line.
Well, there is some hitting going on now. The last thing you wanted to do if you're Jackson State is let Tennessee State get the whole mojo going. They start hitting guys, knocking helmets off. Look at this. Boom! Squares his shoulders. You might want to strap up both of those things next time, but I'll tell you what. It is getting physical out there.
Two helmets come off. That was that was Daniel Fitzpatrick, sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Unnecessary roughness for 36 on the kicking team. 15 yards, first down.
And a personal foul called on Tennessee State.
Yeah, what happened at the end of the play here? Got a good face-up tackle. Thoroughboat number 22 comes in, boom, cleans it up. Good physical hit. Looks like the ball's out.
I think that was Martine Stevenson. Did he say 36 or 46? Fitzpatrick was the one who made the hit, but the penalty was whistled against Martine Stevenson.
Yep.
First down and 10. Short pass, minimal gain. Renty Rollins, the tight end. He had a touchdown in last year's Southern Heritage Classic. Pickup of about 3, second down and 7.
Yeah, Renty Rollins is a good football player. He's got some pro scouts looking at him. Wonderful combination of size and speed. Good hands. Questions about him as a blocker. Is he tough enough at the next level to block people?
Second and 7. Terrio working from the gun. Off play action. Downfield crossing route. Rollins again into Tennessee State territory at the 43-yard line for a Tiger first down. Bryce Wilson with the stop for Tennessee State.
Yeah, and that's what makes him exceptional. I mean, think about this. This guy's a 250-pound tight end. He gets across the field all the way almost to the outside numbers. Look at him. Catches the ball. I mean, that's a 25-yard run. That's a fast, big target.
First and 10 from the 43 of Tennessee State for Jackson State. Jackson State scoring on its first play from scrimmage. Terrio, quarterback draw up to the 36-yard line. He'll be about 3 short of a first down. John Jones, a redshirt senior who transferred from the University of Florida, makes the stop on Terrio. What's interesting about Casey Terrio, last year, Rod, Jackson State scored 47 touchdowns. He threw for 31 and ran for 10. 41 of the 47 touchdowns were accounted by Casey Terrio.
Yeah, that being the case, you don't want to have him running a whole lot of quarterback draw, do you? Get his arm broken or something running around out there.
Second down and 3. Quick screen. That was the same play that got him a touchdown on the very first play. Marcellus Wilder, ball too low for him, and that will bring up a third down and 3.
Yeah, Casey was a little quick there to try to deliver that ball to the outside, and considering the ball's on the opposite hash, that is a long throw to try to get that ball to the numbers.
Junior college football in Michigan, an altercation in a bar, 6 months in jail, and he is a very humble young man and appreciative of the chance he has to play college football. The give on an inside handoff, it's not going to be enough for a first down as they went to Tommy Gooden. Tommy Gooden is a sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, a little misdirection by Jackson State there, you know, but those plays are going to be limited against Tennessee State because they play a lot of base defense. You know, and what I mean by that is it is 4-3 and guys line up in spots and they stay in their spots.
4th and 3. The 33 is where Jackson State needs to go. Wilder again, open downfield, inside the 10 to about the 6 or 7 yard line.
Taking candy from a baby with this bubble screen. I mean, they've been running this thing for 15 years down in Florida State. You got to get another defender out there running to help. The cornerbacks block, the safeties block. Number 21's got to get on his horse and help out.
1st and goal at the 6, 31 yards on the pickup. Terrio to Wilder. Terrio working from under center. The pitch left side. Good tough run. Rakeem Sims knife down short of the goal line. It'll be 2nd and goal from about the half-yard line.
Well, you got a great job by your fullback here on this play. Number 13's out in front. Boom! Knocks the strong safety right off his feet.
That was Ruben Corley, the fullback, with the lead block. Sims took it close but not in. Sims remains in. The tail of the I tandem for Casey Terrio. Terrio burrows forward. No signal yet. Still no signal. But apparently stopped just short. That's a touchdown. Terrio lost his helmet but gained the end zone. Touchdown Jackson State, up 13-7 now.
Well, Jackson State, Rick Comedy doing a wonderful job calling this game. He feels that there's a weakness for Tennessee State in defending that bubble screen, and he is going to run it over and over until Tennessee State finds a way to stop it. Casey did this 10 times last year. If it's a short yardage situation, Casey has no fear in calling his own number and moving the thing forward for a yard or two and getting a first down and or touchdown.
Jabril Smith on to attempt the extra point. Under 5 to play in the first quarter. And Jackson State, who averaged better than 33 points a game a year ago, has already posted 14. Casey Terrio has thrown for 1, and he has rushed for 1 of the Jackson State touchdowns. Rick Comedy said something interesting to us earlier this week, Rod. He said, I'm happy that the pressure is on us. We're pursuing that Black National Championship. We think we can run the table. Their biggest challenge would be Grambling. Grambling right now ranked 4th in HBC football. But Jackson State, they respect everyone, fear no one.
You know, and let's take a look at this real quick. Casey's helmet's getting ripped off here, and it looks like ripped off late in the down. Not early in the down. He's saying something to the ref. Hey, listen, the guy's ripped my helmet off. Play's down. You got your arms up, giving me 6 points, and some guy's still yanking on my face mask. Help me out here.
He is quiet, soft-spoken, respectful. Had a very enjoyable conversation with him yesterday at the Jackson State walkthrough. Will graduate in the next semester with a degree in recreation management. Will go to graduate school, has an eye on coaching and sports management if he doesn't play at the next level, and I don't think that's out of the question, Rob.
I don't either. I think he can get into somebody's practice squad system, develop a little bit, get a little stronger, get a little bigger, and then have a chance to compete with the play quarterback the next level. He has that kind of IQ.
Martine Stevenson from the 16 to the 21-yard line. A 7-yard return.
Martine Stevenson. Tackle on the play for Jackson State University, number 28, John McNabb.
Rod Reed, like you said, Rod, he's one of those guys. He wants to punch you in the mouth, then punch you in the mouth again, and keep going after it. Yet they scored on the quick strike from Jeremy Perry to Travis James. Where do you go here?
Well, he's got to figure out a way to get more defenders to the perimeter to give him some help on that bubble screen. Okay, Jackson State has run the bubble screen 4 times, and we're not even through the first quarter. So what does that mean? You've got to do something to prepare your team to defend it better than they have so far.
1st and 10 from the 21. Cutback run by Travis Ward, but a flag on the play.
Personal foul. Face mask, 57 defense. 15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalty for a face mask. Right there. And a pull. And that hurts. That's Lewis McLeod, a redshirt junior from Gainesville, Florida.
Yeah, and at 325 pounds pulling on your neck, that is not a good scene right there.
In physics terms, that's a lot of torque.
Yeah, you don't want the bigs pulling on your neck bone if you can help it.
First down and 10 at the 39-yard line. Tennessee State trailing by 7. Wilson and McNarroll, the wideouts. Play action. Perry overthrown, had McNarroll wide open in the flat. McNarroll a year ago, 34 catches for 4 touchdowns, and he was also a quarterback for Tennessee State out of the Wildcats. Second down and 10 upcoming with 4 minutes 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, McNarroll made a smooth transition from the quarterback position and playing wideout. Was a former MVP of this game a couple years back, and you know, as Perry talks about McNarroll as being the playmaker of their group, their best overall wide receiver, can catch it, can block, understands the system, his go-to guy.
Devin Wilson goes in motion. Perry, short drop over the middle and a miscommunication. Didn't look like the route was properly run, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
And then he got hit in the face. You know, it is bizarre that Tennessee State hasn't committed to the run game. I mean, that's what they talked about doing in the pregame. That's what Ron Reed was telling me he wanted to do last night when I saw him at the hotel. We're going to run the ball at him. We're going to force it at him. We're going to make them play us in physical terms and make it a brawl.
Well, particularly because you want to possess the ball, because Jackson State, if the ball's in their hands, they are awfully dangerous offensively. 3rd down and 10 for Jeremy Perry. Perry, good seam route and a catch by Travis James, who had the touchdown earlier, and a crucial 3rd down conversion, a 24-yard pickup. Perry to James for Tennessee State.
A great throw by Perry, but what about the protection by the offensive line? What a great job against 5 guys rushing. I mean, it's a heck of a lot easier when you can stand and throw this ball into coverage and not worry about taking a shot. Good job, offensive line. Yeah, look at that. I mean, there's nobody within 5 yards of it.
Ball marked at the 39-yard line. This is Ward trying to spin away and fails to gain back to the line of scrimmage. Ward, in his high school career at Dillard High School in Fort Lauderdale, ran for 5,600 yards.
What? Unbelievable. Yeah, he's a good football player. And good all around. Good hands, can pass protect, and is a load in the run game.
2nd down and 10. Ward, the tail of the tandem. Big penetration, but a flag flies on the play.
False start, 63 offense.
False start on Anthony Woods, the right guard. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, we talked about pre-snap penalties in the open and how they've been just a drive killer for Tennessee. They've got to find a way to eliminate those.
Rod Reed played football at Tennessee State, was an assistant coach, defensive coordinator, now in his 2nd year with the head coach's headset. 2nd down and 15 from the 44. Wilson goes in motion. Perry, short drop. James has it again in space to the 10, to the 5, and tripped up at the very last moment. Quay Cox saved the touchdown. Travis James, 39 yards on the catch and run.
A great job by James of locating the space in the defense. See, you realize James out here, if he curls in a little too much, he gives the defender a chance to close him. Instead, he stays wide. Perry delivers the football and makes big yards after the catch. Wonderful job by the wideout.
Andre Wright, number 27, got faked out. 1st and goal at the 5. Ward at tailback. He'll get the call around the right side. Has some blocking. Does he have the angle? Got to the pylon. He's in. Touchdown, Tennessee State. Travis Ward, his second of the season.
All right, now, where we want to start here. Great job by Travis Ward, stretching the thing out, showing patience. I can't tell who it was, but great job by my tight end, by my onside guard, by my tackle. Look at big 78. Number 10's out there, got somebody hold up, boom, knocks him down. Great job by the entire right side of the offense. Gold stars for the whole right side.
That was London Davis, the tight end, number 10, with the key block. Jamin Godfrey will try to tie it up. And another pre-snap penalty.
Oh, no.
Ball start, 72, kicking team.
Kicking game for Tennessee State. This is the third pre-snap penalty on the kicking game alone.
They're already, what, 5 deep? And they're about 50% kicking field goals, kicking anything through uprights. They're about 50% the last 2 or 3 years.
Jamin Godfrey was 3 of 4 on PATs last week, and he was 21 of 24 a year ago. Devin Wilson is the holder. He kneels at the 15.
They did have one block, am I right?
Yes. I love a partner who does his research. Godfrey puts it up and through, and we are tied 14-14, 2:14 remaining in the first quarter. And Travis Ward, you get the pylon, it's 6. Take another look.
Great job there on the block by my tight end. The stiff arm. Ty goes to the runner. Listen, listen, I'm a former cornerback, defensive guy, but listen, if you get that ball in the pylon, whether you have full control over it or not, that's 6. Don't let any of my defensive friends hear me say that. Listen, I will deny I ever said that.
Now, we should point out, in football championship subdivision, there is no instant replay. There are no challenges. There's no instant replay. It apparently hurt Rod Reed in Tennessee State last year, where it appeared Joseph Hills had potentially a game-tying touchdown.
Hey, listen, it crushed them last year because they did have the game-winning touchdown.
But Rod Reed he's been a big man about it. He has said all the right things. You know what? It happened. We move on. Rod Reed is one of those guys. I love talking to him because there's no nonsense. There's no veneer. What you see is what you get, and he is a football guy through and through.
Oh, without question. I mean, his father was an All-American guard who played years for the Washington Redskins. I mean, football runs deep in his family. Not only football, physical, in-your-face, grind-it-out type football runs deep in his family.
B.J. Lee, Rico Richardson back to receive this kick. This will be Richardson from the 14. Richardson trying to get the edge, run out of bounds at the 28-yard line. 13-yard pickup for Rico Richardson on the return. Here is the resume for Rod Reed.
Yeah, All-American linebacker. He's a school career tackle leader.
There's his father, Robert Reed.
I mean, this Reed family, we've been knocking guys down for what, about 40 years? Unbelievable.
Well, Enrico Council, who we talked about at the top of the telecast, is second all-time in tackles. He needs to average 18 tackles a game to get the record. This is B.J. Lee across the 30-yard line to about the 31, let's say, and it'll be a pickup of about 2 as we go under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
You know, and I think Casey had his team in the right play there. All right. I mean, there was only Council in the defensive end on the right side of that defensive set. And we had a running back and 2 offensive linemen against 2 defenders. BJ's got to burst that thing in the secondary and make a big play out of that. That was the right call by Casey.
We've talked about Terrio's story. Rico Council was shot in a drive-by shooting. Fumble, ball's out, and it is recovered by Tennessee State. John Jones with the recovery.
All he does is make plays. All he does is make plays. Rico Council on the tackle and the strip. Wonderful play.
Rakeem Sims.
The tackle,
and
the
Council
strip.
rips it out.
Yeah, listen. Last week he has 9 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and a pick. I mean, the guy is a playmaker. He makes sacks, tackle for loss, causes fumbles, interceptions. It's just a game changer.
Now, we talked about Jackson State went 8-3 a year ago. They were +7 in turnovers. Tonight they're -2. An interception and now a fumble. Tennessee State in business, 1st and 10 at the Jackson State 38-yard line. Perry all day and overthrows his intended receiver, Calvin McNarl. We have a flag down. We talked about it earlier, Rod. Jeremy Perry has all day to order barbecue, eat the barbecue, side of beans, side of slaw.
Seriously.
He's got plenty of time.
I'm serious. Offensive line's doing a fantastic job. I think some of that has to do with their success in the run game.
There is no foul. To become formation. Correct.
All right, pick up the flag. Take another look at all the time that Jeremy Perry has here.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, no. That's not legal. You can't grab him by the back of his jersey, can you?
Now, folks, that was spoken by a former defensive back.
Where's my official over there?
2nd down and 10. They'll work the right side on the ground. Dante Thomas carries for about a yard. 3rd down and 10 for Jeremy Perry.
Perry's got all day to make the throw. It makes big plays in the passing game. That one on 3rd down to keep the drive alive. Then bang. That's not an easy throw, folks. I mean, this is a quick out, don't get me wrong, but he's got to deliver it from the middle of the field to outside the numbers. That's a big-time throw in a big-time situation. And then Ward taking it all the way to the perimeter, showing great patience on the stretch play and hitting the pylon, in my opinion, 4-6.
To tie the game at 14. And we're going to have, I believe,
has called her 2nd timeout.
Another Tennessee State timeout. But Tennessee State has produced some pretty notable NFL caliber players, including newly minted Professional Football Hall of Famer Richard Dent, Mike Hegman, Claude Humphrey, Ed Too Tall Jones, Larry Kinnebrew, Jim Marsalis from the Kansas City Chiefs when they won Super Bowl IV, and Anthony Pleasant. Richard Dent terrorized quarterbacks not only as a member of the Tigers, but also as a member of that incredible 1985 Chicago Bears defense.
In 1992, we played at Chicago in the playoffs, and Richard Dent was probably about 50 at that point, and he was still scary. I'm telling you, scary. Some guys look like football players. That dude looked like a football player.
3rd down and 9 from the 38 for Jeremy Perry. 4 wideouts in the formation. Has time. Ball low. Is it caught? It is. It is a catch to Jeremy Pryor. Pryor, redshirt sophomore from here in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's good enough for a 1st down. 14-yard pickup on 3rd and 9. Take another look.
I mean, you look at the, Perry looks like a different quarterback this year than he did last year. I mean, a completely different animal. You see how poised he was in the pocket? Looked, the #1 receiver wasn't there. Stepped forward, planted his back foot, turned his shoulders, and delivered the football. Boom. A little low, but that's okay on that. You don't want high passes on the quarterback. The ball's got to stay low.
1st down and 10 from the 23. Dante Thomas carries for a couple. Well, 2 years ago, Jeremy Perry was a part-time quarterback. Last year, his first full year as a starter. This, his 2nd full year as a starter. The dividends are evident. 15 minutes in the books at the 22nd Annual Southern Heritage Classic. Jackson State, Tennessee State. It's been quite a tune through 15 minutes, all even at 14 aside in Memphis. Well, Jeremy Perry has led Tennessee State to a couple of scoring drives. This after Jackson State scored on its first play from scrimmage. Remember, Tennessee State had a 7-game winning streak snapped last year in dramatic and, we would say, also controversial fashion.
To put it mildly, they got robbed. I'll say it.
You didn't mince any words last year, as I recall.
They were robbed.
This is a great rivalry, and 2nd down and 9 as we get the second quarter underway. It was interesting yesterday. Rick Comegee really lit into his players after practice, saying they were not ready to play, and 2 turnovers. And so far, Tennessee State has been able to take advantage of the opportunities that have been presented to them.
They have. They're allowing Tennessee to get their type of game going. Tennessee State wants to turn it into a brawl. They want to make it a physical contest, okay? They want to punch in the mouth of the running game, right? That's what they want to do. And Jackson State has done nothing to stop them from establishing this.
Perry, and another pre-snap penalty.
Oh.
False start, 16 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
So now you put yourself in a 2nd down and 14 situation. But the way that both of these teams can work offensively down and distance is almost immaterial.
Yeah, but eventually it's going to catch up with you if you continue to put yourself in these horrible yardage situations. Maybe you got the playbook in your hand. What are you calling on 2nd and 15? You're going to call a draw and try to make it 3rd and 10? Or are you going to put it in the air and risk being in the same spot you're in now?
Cleaves and Thomas in an offset eye on 2nd down and 14. This will be Thomas. Good initial hold, but boy, does he get racked up as he gets to the 26-yard line. I think that was Todd Wilcher who just belted him, along with Milt Patterson.
Yeah, Patterson just fills a hole on this stretch play. Bang! Pads down, didn't quite get his head across, but big-time contact here. Boom! Coming off of a block.
No gain on the play. 3rd down and 14.
Yeah, that's great technique by Patterson there. Shedding the blocker, recognizing the play, and getting to the ball carrier and finishing with authority.
McNarl and Pryor are the wideouts. Perry under pressure, throws, finds his seam. He's got Jeremy Pryor for a 1st down to the 10-yard line, make it the 11-yard line. So it's not 1st and goal. 1st and 10 at the 11. Jeremy Pryor from Jeremy Perry.
Let's talk about Pryor's poise in the pocket. I cannot get over how much he's evolved this year. Look at him. A little pressure from the backside, moves his feet, delivers the ball on time, moves the chains. Last year, that ball is either A in the end zone, B in the coverage, or 3 in the ground.
Thomas, the lone setback. 1st and 10 from the 11. Thomas will get the call. Has the edge at the 10, tries to cut back, and is ridden down at about the 9-yard line.
Well, a better job by the defensive front of JSU, sliding their feet, staying square to the line of scrimmage. That's how you push the stretch play to the sidelines. Your defensive linemen cannot turn their shoulders. They have to stay square to the line of scrimmage, force the thing wide, and wait for your linebackers and safeties to fill the hole and get the tackle.
Tennessee State can get a 1st down inside the 2-yard line. How about a tip of the hat to the Big Uglies? Gaines, Edwards, Carter, Woods, and Ridgway. The front line for Tennessee State. Oh, except that time, busting through, Jamal Carter, a junior from Livingston, Alabama, blew that play up.
Yeah, Rod Reed wanted to dial up a little counter tray, a little trap action. See here, because the wide receiver coming to trap. Well, you know what? I've always been uncomfortable putting a guy under 170 pounds in my interior to block another guy that's 300 pounds. It just, something about that just doesn't click for me.
Lost back to the 11. 3rd down and 10. Perry, pump fake to fade, double clutches, throws, caught, touchdown! McNarl! Oh, what a play! An 11-yard strike, Jeremy Perry to Calvin McNarl.
I know I sound like a broken record, but I am in shock by how much Perry has changed this game from last year to this year.
He is playing out of his mind. Okay, he's under pressure. The play breaks down. He backs up, moves away from the pressure, locates the wideout, points him to the pylon, hits him, touchdown. I mean, he is a different player, far better than he was last year, and he's playing fantastic.
Jamin Godfrey. It is up, it is through, and Tennessee State enjoys its first lead of the night. Jeremy Perry from Memphis, Tennessee, fifth-year senior.
Wow.
Calvin McNarl, the score, Perry, the celebration early second quarter. Welcome back to Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. With Rod Smith, I'm Pete Pranica. Southern Heritage Classic and Tennessee State leading Jackson State 21-14. Jeremy Perry's second touchdown pass of the game.
Yeah, they tried to get him on the slant. The play broke down. Perry recognized it, backed up, and still hit his wide out over the outside shoulder, who was still well covered for the touchdown. Fantastic play.
Godfrey with the kick. Picked up by Tommy Gooden, and Gooden gets belted down at the 27-yard line. I want to go back to Jeremy Perry for just a second. His numbers last year in this game, 14 of 36, no touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked twice.
It was
give you an idea.
It was painful. It was painful to watch. He is a different animal this year. He's playing fantastic. And that last play for the touchdown is so much tougher than it looked on television. I mean, that's a difficult play he executed.
That's a similar play that he misfired on the last play of the game a year ago.
Exactly.
Rolling to his left, that very same end zone. Terrio on 1st and 10 has his receiver, E.J. Drury, and Drury takes it to about the 31-yard line, and Jackson State now has work to do behind head coach Rick Comagee. 8-3 overall, 6-3 in the SWAC, and they were perfect at home. They were 12 points away from running the table.
They were, and this year's team on paper is better. The quarterback's been in the system for a year. They're more talent on the offensive line and got better backs.
B.J. Lee staying on his feet to the 48-yard line. First down, Jackson State on a 17-yard carry by B.J. Lee.
Yeah, speaking of backs, here's B.J. Lee in your face. Just a little jitterbug, but he's so quick in case it gets him in the right play on the draw. Jackson State doing a good job up front, creating a seam for B.J. to get through.
1st and 10 from the 48. Jackson State has only stopped themselves with 2 turnovers. Terrio with time, wide open. B.J. Lee at midfield. Shifty move near a first down at the 42-yard line, where he's tackled by Wilson Robinson, a linebacker from Birmingham, Alabama.
And now we're going to talk about Casey a little bit. What a wonderful job. All right, he's going for the big play on the left-hand side of the field. It's not available. He quickly makes a decision to roll to his right, deliver the ball to B.J., and advance the football.
Lee with 34 catches out of the backfield a year ago. Jackson State and Tennessee State territory. 1st and 10 at the 42. Terrio will work from the gun. He is working behind a patchwork and relatively inexperienced offensive line. And Roderick Gladney, who's playing the left guard, playing with a heavy heart. His father passed away earlier today, and that pass intended for E.J. Drury misses the mark.
Well, that was an interesting chess match that happened before that snap. Okay, Tennessee State shows blitz, which number one, you don't want to do that against a quarterback as good as Casey is. But they show blitz. Casey checks to the slant, but still can't find a way to hit him. I'm surprised Tennessee State stayed in the blitz after they showed it.
3rd and 1. Lee, the single setback, free play, offside. Lee carries. Well, they marked him well short of the first down, and it appeared that he had clearly acquired the line to gain. Well, this is a horrible spot, but it's not going to matter because of the offside penalty.
Penalty in the distance results in a first down.
Mentioned Roderick Gladney, senior from Jackson, Mississippi. His father passed away this morning. We got word when we got to the stadium this afternoon there was some question whether or not he would play. Obviously, he is playing and playing very, very well. His last 2 years of high school didn't allow his quarterback to be sacked. First down via penalty. Ball at the 38-yard line for Casey Terrio and Jackson State. Rico Richardson gets a block, and does he get hammered by Bryce Wilson. Knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
Well, Wilson does a great job of getting over there and finishing this thing up. Tennessee State wide receivers, though, are getting after it.
Richardson gets to the 31-yard line, I beg your pardon. The hair, that's part of the reason they call him Tarzan.
Was a heck of a football player.
Tommy Gooden in at tailback. Ruben Corley is the fullback. Second down and short. Option play. Gooden's got it. 25, 20, cut back. 10, 5, to the house. Touchdown. Jackson State, Tommy Gooden. A 31-yard burst with some shifty moves. And that is his second career touchdown for the Jackson State Tigers.
Well, a great play call by Rick Comegy. Option into the short side of the field. One less defender to deal with.
Jabril Smith, high snap. It matters not. It's between the posts, and we're tied again at 21 aside. Tommy Gooden, a sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. He's a sprinter on the JSU track team. No hurdles, plenty of green space, a burst of speed, and we're back even at 21. It's close. It's exciting. Don't even think about touching that remote. 21 all, second quarter.
To be more environmentally aware, we are now
The 22nd Southern Heritage Classic. Well, Jackson State scored on its first play from scrimmage, then fell behind 21-14. Rod Smith, a great answer by the Tigers.
Yeah, a wonderful drive. Great play calling by Coach Reed. He really gave his team a strategic advantage against Tennessee State's defense. Found the mismatches, found places where he had one more offensive guy to block, and really took advantage of it.
Take a look at the drive in a moment. Salida, foot to football. There's Travis James. James has a block, has an alley. Travis James.
Ooh, the comeback!
Tripped up at the 28-yard line. Travis James was bound for a touchdown until Ryan Griffin, a freshman from Ypsilanti, Michigan, caught him around the shoe tops.
What a nice move on the kicker. Takes the ball all the way across the field. Not enough penetration by Jackson State, getting down the field to put pressure on the returner. We're up over the 50-yard line, and boom, the kicker doesn't even get a hand on him. Nice move.
A 66-yard return.
No. I love it.
I'm a true freshman, and I'm a kicker. I'm getting out of here.
I love it.
First and 10 from the 26. Perry. Left side handoff, nothing doing. Travis Ward.
Ooh.
Stacked up Joseph LeBeau. They really like him at that left defensive end slot.
Got better back.
Here's Jackson State. They get B.J. Lee involved, and that's always a good thing. He's one of their prime playmakers.
You know, and your quarterback's got to take a lot of credit for this drive because he's responsible for calling the play. The formation comes in from the sidelines, but then Casey's the trigger man on putting them in the right play. Running the option to the short side of the field here was brilliant. Gets us back to the second level. College track star takes it to the house for 6.
Tommy Gooden, a 31-yard run to pay off that drive. Loss of 3, second down and 13. Big pressure, and Perry did not see that coming from the blind side. Donovan Robinson, who had 3 tackles, 1 for loss, forced a fumble and recovered a fumble last week against Concordia. This is just a full-out sprint blitz. Double team, doesn't matter. A 10-yard loss.
Yeah, Robinson, a 2-year starter at end, shows late. This is exactly the opposite of what Tennessee did earlier. He shows late in the call, so the quarterback doesn't have a chance to adjust, beats the tight end around the corner, makes a big-time sack.
3rd down and forever. 16-yard line is the line to gain. Perry bobbles the snap. Protection breaking down. He'll escape to the outside.
Make a move.
At the 30, makes 1 move, and then is driven down at the 25-yard line by Milt Patterson. Perry, a 14-yard scamper. We knew that he could make plays with his feet. It is his arm that has impressed us tonight.
Nice move here in the open field, and then runs into Patterson. Boom! Big-time hit. You got 2 leaders on both sides, Patterson and Perry, face-to-face, little words afterwards. You know, hey, how you doing? You doing great? Yeah, I didn't hurt you, right? You feel good? Oh, good.
Jamin Godfrey, a 43-yard field goal attempt. This is pretty much
Jackson State,
the boundary of his range. His career best is 42 yards last year, and a timeout has been taken by Jackson State. Jamin Godfrey, a sophomore from Inglewood, Tennessee, made 9 of 18 field goals last year, and as I said, a long of 42. Judging by where the spot was, I'm thinking this will be 43 yards, so it would be a career best effort for Godfrey. And trying to give Tennessee State the lead back.
Well, you're in a position where, I mean, you really are in no man's land. You have to give your field goal kicker a shot to make this. Even though he's been 50% in the past, you're too close to, 10 yards is too much to go for it, and you're too close to kick it.
Devin Wilson will put it down at the 43-yard line. Godfrey. Good.
Oh, that's huge for that young man's confidence coming off a tough year last year. To get down the field here and take the lead, make a long field goal. That's
career long for Jamin Godfrey.
That's huge.
Well, Tennessee State back in the lead. A career best effort from Jamin Godfrey. It's on its way. Devin Wilson knows it's good. 24-21, Tennessee State. Life on Beale Street. It's a lot of fun. Great music. The blues, pretty much any style of music that you may enjoy can be found here in Memphis, Tennessee. And you can also find an awfully good football game tonight. Jamin Godfrey matching his uniform number with a career best 43-yard field goal to give Tennessee State the lead back. This will be Rico Richardson. And Richardson gets railroaded by Mike West, a backup linebacker from Cross City, Florida. A little more than 7 remaining here in the first half. 22nd edition of the Southern Heritage Classic at Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. And Rod Smith, it is living up to the name Classic.
Yeah, it's been a great game so far. Pleasantly surprised that Tennessee State has been able to establish something in the run game. Perry's playing fantastic at the quarterback position. But JSU is hanging in there and keeping it close. Should go down the last play of the game just like they have for the last 6 years in a row.
1st and 10 from the 28. B.J. Lee swings to the outside, eludes one man, 35, down at the 37-yard line. A couple yards shy of a first down for B.J. Lee. Goes down in the grasp of Bryce Wilson, the redshirt freshman from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Well, B.J. Lee makes the guy miss here. That's winning offensive football. Boom, nothing but air. Little jitterbug, quick. If you can get him in space and get him onto the second level, he can really cause you problems.
And this is a play caller's delight. 2nd and 2. Clock rolling inside of 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Lee Nice dance move through a hole and a first down to the 46-yard line.
Wow, look at the little Barry Sanders, plant your feet, stop and go.
Andrew Taylor on the stop for Tennessee State.
Nice move right in the hole here. Up that way, up, no that way. Vertical explodes up the field. Gain of 10. But look at him set it up. Here's a little move like up to the right, boop, to the left. Fantastic play.
Lee, a veteran. The Jackson State offensive line, not so much. If there is a weakness in this team, it would be the offensive line. Terrio, plenty of time all day.
In the flat, in the flat. There you go.
And it's caught by Rico Richardson to midfield.
I mean, he was standing there. I know he wants to be the big, the big star and blow the ball down the field with big first downs and outstanding passes, but the guy has been open since January. I mean, just release the football. Let's move the chains.
It's actually Marcellus Wilder. His numbers from a year ago. Preseason first team all Southwestern Athletic Conference. Pickup of 4 after all that. 2nd down and 6 on the midfield stripe. Terrio looked a little gimpy coming up after that play. A lot of running around, but his relatively inexperienced offensive line gave him a lot of time, and a flag as the ball came loose on the snap. Coming up with it is John Jones. He came up with a fumble recovery earlier, but I don't think that play is going to count.
The ruling is that the runner was down by contact. Offside, defense, number 10. 5-yard penalty remains. 2nd down.
So there was no fumble. Terrio was down by contact, but a 5-yard penalty will make it 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, offsides. The penalties. I'm running out of material when it comes to Tennessee State jumping off sides and committing pre-snap penalties. I mean, they're 7 deep here. We're not even to half.
It was one of your AutoZone keys to the game. There's a bobble by Terrio. E.J. Drury has it near a first down. In fact, he will have enough. This ball will be spotted at about the 42.5-yard line. There'll be a first down for Jackson State, and Terrio having to reel in an errant snap.
Well, good job by Terrio. First of all, locating the snap and then delivering the football. Now we need our wideouts to catch and to get vertical. He's looking around for where he wants to go, and he gets smashed at the spot. Should be a gain of 10 there, not 6.
Drury had 4 catches for 41 yards last week against Concordia. First down play, B.J. Lee, stutter step, balls on the ground. Tennessee State is on it.
Wow.
Antonio Harper, I believe, made the recovery, and a 2nd fumble and 3rd turnover by Jackson State.
After such a great run. Ducks to the right. Again, ducks to the left. And look at the quickness here. Bang, sideways, then through the hole. But he's holding the ball out in front. BJ's got the ball in 2 hands out in front of him. What is it, a loaf of bread? Look at this, right here. He's got it in front of him, right, with 2 hands. Why is that?
Bad technique by B.J. Lee.
B.J.
And actually, Bryce Wilson was the one who made the recovery. 3rd Jackson State turnover. 1st and 10 from their own 36. Bursting through a hole for 9, almost 10 yards. Ryan Berry.
Why does he have the ball in 2 hands in front of him like that? You got to tuck that thing in the arm and hold it close to your body.
Was he trying? I don't know what he was trying to do. I'm not sure if I'm trying to rationalize this or not.
I don't either.
If he was trying to secure it and he put it out in front of him, in any event, not good technique. And a 3rd Jackson State turnover. And Terrio, I said was gimpy, and that scramble play receiving medical attention. And meanwhile, Jeremy Perry throws that one into the ground, intended for Ryan Berry out of the backfield.
Intentional grounding because 29 was in the area.
Now that's one of those Rod Reed plays or tendencies that I don't understand. He runs it on 1st down. He gains 8 yards. It's 2nd and short. Rather than just assert your dominance, all right, get your bigs fighting, grind out 2 more yards and move the chains, he throws it on 2nd down. And now they're in 3rd and short. They should convert it statistically, but why put your team in these tough situations?
3rd down and a yard. Berry is the lone setback. 4 wideouts for Jeremy Perry, who has already thrown 2 touchdown passes tonight. Berry swings it around the right side. very close to a first down. The head linesman moves in. Devin Wilson says it's a first down, but then again, he's wearing that old school Tennessee State helmet, the same logo and helmet decal that Rod Reed wore when he played for Tennessee State. It is indeed a first down. The ball marked now at the 47-yard line.
Well, they go back to the running game, the right side where their bigs are, and push it in for the first down. Tougher than it needed to be, if you ask me.
Travis Ward now in at tailback behind Jonte Gleaves, the fullback. High formation from the 47. Good penetration by Jackson State. Joseph LeBeau knifes in to make the tackle. Travis Ward taken down, lost about a yard on the play.
Well, Coach Reed said he has a lot of respect for Belvis McLeod in the middle there. It's very difficult to make your living running the ball against Jackson State on that tight interior. The two players over your guards are big men and physical football players and really do a good job of holding their own at the line of scrimmage.
Second down, and let's call it 11. Perry, bad pass. That one bounced in. Travis James did come free in the seam. There's Casey Terrio, retaped apparently his right ankle. Take a look at the right ankle. Plants, lands, awkwardly.
Yeah, you put a couple rolls of tape on that bad boy and he'll be just fine.
Take an aspirin to it, it's all good.
Absolutely.
Third down and 11. Perry from the gun. Good protection over the middle. Seam route bobbled. And is it intercepted? Apparently it is. Milt Patterson made the interception, and that's the first Tennessee State turnover and the first mistake from Jeremy Perry.
Well, he guns it in here, and I think that's a good ball. Beats coverage, bounces in the air, and Patterson does a great job of tracking it down.
That's a phenomenal catch by Milt Patterson. Had an interception last season, now has one this season. So Jackson State 2.5 minutes remaining and 2 of their timeouts. Terrio will work from the gun, his own 38-yard line. Eluding one defender, now another, throws back and out of bounds. Tyler Lusk was applying pressure and really testing that right ankle of Casey Terrio.
Terrio does a great job here of delaying the play as long as he can, stretching it out, avoiding the rush, and then delivering the ball out of bounds. It was the best thing that could happen. And then do we have a penalty at the end of this?
Unnecessary roughness against Tennessee State.
Hit him out of bounds?
Yeah.
Hey, let's take another look at that.
That's Lamar Wallace, 95, tracking him. Oh yeah, yeah. Not a huge hit.
Oh.
But a trainer went down in the background. I remember.
Went down hard.
Yeah, Tim Dandridge for Jackson State sitting out the first half because of a late hit and an ejection in the game last weekend against Concordia. Terrio, plenty of time, guns the middle, has his man. Michael Perkins, a redshirt freshman wide receiver, 14-yard pickup. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Clock rolling with 2:07 remaining in the first half. Three wideouts. B.J. Lee in the backfield. Terrio under heavy pressure. He'll go down.
Rod Reed dials up some pressure, and they did a better job this time, Tennessee State, of not showing the blitz early. They came late. They held their formation. Look, and boom, here comes the blitz. Gets all the way to the quarterback.
Jackson State, second timeout.
That's just a good call by Rod Reed there. They didn't show the blitz until it was too late for Jackson State to make any adjustment to it. Nice play.
Dare Ayula, number 20, was in on that stop. And a 14-yard loss and a timeout taken by Jackson State. 1:41 remaining in the first half. The ball spotted at the 46-yard line. You take a look at the recent history, Rod, between these two teams playing in the Southern Heritage Classic. There's only one blowout in the bunch in 2008. Other than that, it's been a touchdown or less.
Yeah, these games always go down the wire. It's the last 5 years they've been awful close, and you know we got a great game going today. I'm thrilled with Tennessee State and their quarterback playing much better, and we've got one of the best college football players in the country right there, number 11, to watch. So this should be exciting.
So it's second down. They'll say 23. Ball on the 46-yard line. Probably need at least 16 yards to give their kicker Jabril Smith a realistic shot. Terrio from the gun, plenty of time, swings it out and through the hands of his intended receiver, Rakeem Sims.
Well, Kamaji's aggressive, and rather than try to get half the yards he needed, Kamaji's trying to stretch for the fences. He's trying to score the football. You know, we interviewed him yesterday. He said, look, Rod, I want to bring the ball to the defense. I'm going to bring it to you. Every snap, we're going to try to design a play that's going to have somebody in position where they can score 6 points.
E.J. Drury on as one of the receivers. B.J. Lee comes out, empty backfield for Casey Terrio. They need the 23 for a first down. Realistically, 30 for a chance, perhaps at a field goal in Jackson State.
Jackson State, final timeout.
Will take
30 seconds.
its third and final timeout. Ernest Wilson is the offensive coordinator, and some miscommunication perhaps about hand signals, whether you hit the top of the helmet or the back of the helmet. It's an interesting story. Ernest Wilson was coaching with Hal Mumme at New Mexico State. Came to know about Casey Terrio playing junior college football in Michigan. Wanted to bring Terrio to New Mexico State. New Mexico State, with the situation that Terrio had been in with the manslaughter charge, 6 months in jail, New Mexico State said, no, we're not going to do that. Well, in the meantime, Ernest Wilson goes from New Mexico State to Jackson State. And he asks Rick Kamaji, can I recruit this kid? And Rick Kamaji says, go for it. And now Wilson and Terrio making wonderful things happen offensively in Jackson. Third down and 23. 1:35 remaining in the first half. Terrio, pressure. Throws back across his body. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. Renty Rollins, the tight end, was there. And so now Jackson State will give up the football with 1:27.
Yeah, Terrio under big-time pressure there. That play was not well defended up front. Got pressure with the quarterback with the gimpy ankle, chasing to the sidelines, put him in a situation where it's nearly impossible, rolling to his left to complete a ball across his body. Good defense by Tennessee State there.
Chris Salita to punt. He punted twice against Concordia for a 30.5 average. Doesn't get this one to turn over. And it will roll dead at the 11-yard line. So Tennessee State 89 yards away from the goal line. So true freshman Chris Salita had to make an on-the-fly adjustment. Bad snap bouncing back there.
Yeah, Salita does a great job of bending his knees and locating that ball and getting it off.
30-yard punt, no return. Renty Rollins is the long snapper. He had a long snap that was extra long. Cost Jackson State a safety. You'll remember Jackson State in last year's game had a 21-7 lead in the second half. Then Tennessee State ran off 12 points. They hit for the cycle. Field goal, safety, and touchdown. 1st and 10 play is going absolutely nowhere. Lewis McLeod takes Ryan Berry down.
On the run for CSU, number 29, Ryan.
Long snapping is really an art, Rod, and if you can do it on Sundays and do it well, you can have a long career.
You better believe it, and he's got some advice that if he wants to play tight end at the next level, he's got to learn how to long snap it.
A loss of 5, and we're going to have apparently a personal foul penalty here with 41 seconds remaining. Ryan Berry got his bell rung and may have grabbed, or may have had his face mask grabbed.
Illegal motion on the wideout on the offense. Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 57. The foul's offset. Replay. Second down.
Oh.
I'm not sure Ryan Berry says they offset. Take a look at the face mask. Ryan Berry.
2 draws in a row. Big time face mask. Oh, and then he gets smashed. Patterson just cleans him up. That's not fair. You can't. One guy gets destroyed and the other guy jumps offside.
That's why I decided to get into broadcasting.
There you go, brother.
Well, Tennessee State and Jeremy Perry will take a knee here and go to the locker room and be very happy with a 24-21 lead. Jackson State scored on a 62-yard pass play on their first play from scrimmage. But Tennessee State has battled back. A couple of touchdown passes from Jeremy Perry. A rushing touchdown and a career best 43-yard field goal from Jamin Godfrey. And Tennessee State, they have their 7-game Southern Heritage Classic winning streak snapped a year ago. They're trying to start a new streak tonight. 24-21, we are at halftime at Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. These two longtime rivals putting on an offensive show in front of a very appreciative crowd here at the Liberty Bowl. Well, we're joined now by Rod Reed, the head coach for Tennessee State. And Rod, you guys had a tremendous response after giving up that 62-yard touchdown play, first play for Jackson State. What were your words to your team at that point?
Well, I just told the guys that, you know, we talked about it before we came out, that Jackson State was a big play football team and that we were going to have to bounce back from adversity at some point in this football game. And we've done it 2 or 3 times so far. We got to settle down on defense. The 2 plays that they got for touchdowns, long plays, we didn't make them earn it. They were simple hit screens. So we'll make that adjustment and we'll be ready to come out and play the second half.
Hey, Coach, you're doing a great job of running the football, but from up here, it looks like your quarterback, Jeremy Perry, has really turned into a special player. Are we going to see more of him throwing it in the second half, or are we going back to the run game?
Well, it just depends on what they give us. You know, they're loading the box up a little bit. We're going to have to do some things to loosen them up. But if that situation calls for it, then JP will make the proper adjustment and get us in the right play.
Coach, thanks for your time and good luck in the second half.
All right, thank you, guys. Tennessee
State head coach Rod Reed, his team leads at 24-21. Jeremy Perry with a couple of touchdown throws. The aristocrat of bands, the sonic boom of the South, the battle of the bands from the Liberty Bowl on the way from the Liberty Bowl. 24-21, Tennessee State. Time now for the AutoZone halftime report of the 22nd annual Southern Heritage Classic. The Tennessee State Tigers leading the Jackson State Tigers 24-21. One of the prominent features of the Southern Heritage Classic each and every year, the Battle of the Bands. And you are watching and listening to the Tennessee State University Band, the aristocrat of bands. Directing them tonight, their assistant director, Dr. Reginald McDonald. And out.
At this time, from our manager, assistant band director, James Sexton, Mr. Song is elected by the board. Under the direction of associate band director, Dr. Reginald A. McDowell.
Jeremy Perry, one of 2 touchdown passes in the first half. Tennessee State a 24-21 halftime lead. The 22nd edition of the Southern Heritage Classic with Tennessee State University Aristocrat of Bands finishing their performance. We'll hear from the Sonic Boom of the South in a moment. Pete Branica, Rod Smith, real shootout going on. Tennessee State leads at 24-21. We expected Jackson State to score a lot of points as the AutoZone halftime report continues from the Liberty Bowl. First play from scrimmage for Jackson State. 62 yards, 11 seconds. That's how long it took Marcellus Wilder to reel in that pass from Casey Terrio. 7-0 Jackson State at that point.
Yeah, Terry does a great job of getting the ball to Wilder, his best wide receiver, on an easy pass and converts it for a long touchdown.
Then Jeremy Perry goes to Travis James, 54 yards. That was also a one-play drive. Jackson State reclaims the lead on a Terrio sneak. It's 14-7. At that point, Terrio lost his helmet in the scrum. Tennessee State comes right back down the field. Travis Ward makes it 14-all.
Travis does a great job of showing patience on that run play, taking it all the way to the pylon.
This a very mature play from Jeremy Perry. Pulls it back in, finds Calvin McNarl from 11 yards out. That gave Tennessee State its first lead of the night. Then on the option pitch, Tommy Gooden. Good hard running and a shifty move to take it to the house.
Terrio does a great job on that play of getting his team in the right play. That was originally supposed to go to the left side of the field. They changed it to the right, had the defense at a disadvantage, a man down, and scores the football.
Jackson State surprisingly outrushing Tennessee State, and Tennessee State outpassing Jackson State. It's up, it's down, it's sideways, but an awful lot of yards. Jackson State, the only thing that has stopped them has been 3 turnovers. When the AutoZone halftime report continues from the Liberty Bowl, we'll give a listen to the sonic boom of the South. From the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee, the AutoZone halftime. The Tennessee State Tigers lead the Jackson State Tigers 24-21, and on the field, the sonic boom of the South, the Jackson State University Marching Band. Their bandmaster is Dr. Lewis Liddell Sr. They're joined by the Prancing J Sets, the Jackson 5 Drum Majors, and Warren Thunder, the Jackson State Drum Line. The sonic boom of the South. The Jackson State University Marching Band in performance. Halftime festivities winding down on the AutoZone halftime. Third quarter straight ahead. Jackson State down 3 to Tennessee State.
South.
Eurozone halftime from Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. The Tennessee State Tigers leading the Jackson State Tigers 24-21. You're a fan of offense, you most certainly have come to the right place, Rod Smith.
You got that right. They are moving the football today. I mean, much to our surprise, going into this game, there's no way you could anticipate Tennessee State being able to run in here and put 24 points on the board in the first half. Nobody would have thought that, but Perry is better than advertised. They're doing a good job running the football. They've created turnovers, and that's led to the points.
We're looking at head coach Rick Comagee in Jackson State. He knew that this would be a tough go, and there were a lot of people around Jackson suggesting that Rod Reed's Tennessee State team may be the toughest test that Jackson State will face all year. No disrespect intended to Grambling, currently rated number 4 in the HBC poll, but Tennessee State, for so many years, 7 in a row to be precise, had Jackson State's number in this game, in this stadium.
Well, Tennessee State and Rod Reed, I mean, they've been traditionally, they're a powerhouse. They win football games, and they do it the same way. They beat you up on offense running the football. They play solid, sound defense. They don't do a lot of blitzing, a lot of crazy stuff. They just line up man-to-man and try to beat the person in front of them. So, yes, it's a different kind of test than playing against Grambling, because they present a physical type of presence, a physical type of attitude to Jackson State that Jackson State won't see the rest of the year, excluding Grambling.
Now, Rod Reed, we talked about the fact that Tennessee State lost the last 6 games of the year. They are one of now only 6 teams in football championship subdivision with an indoor practice facility. They're in the same city as Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt doesn't have one.
Yeah.
This is a tremendous boon to recruiting, and we talked to Rod Reed, and he said, I don't want to make a big splash with my program. I want to build some ripples and something that is long-lasting and sustainable. You know, make sure we get the right kids in academically. They've had to redshirt a lot of kids simply because for inexperience, or for Travis Ward, perfect example, as you look at Jeremy Perry, the hometown product, showing very well in his final game here in Memphis. And Casey Terrio, you'll see his numbers momentarily, and struggled with a bit of a right ankle issue that needed some retaping. But going back to Tennessee State, Travis Ward's perfect example. Very, very talented ball player, did not qualify academically, had to sit out last year. And Rod Reed says, you know, we need to have junior and senior classes of 15, 16 guys. That's how you build a program. And now in his second year as the head coach, previously defensive coordinator, and a standout linebacker for Tennessee State, mark my words, Rod, he's going to do it.
You better believe it. And I'll tell you what, for as well as Tennessee State is playing today, their best years are in front of them, just like you outlined. Rod Reed's strategies develop kids from redshirt freshmen, redshirt sophomores, juniors. Ideally, in a perfect world, he'd start 22 redshirt seniors, and he'll get there. Their best years are going to be the next 2 years are going to be really, really good.
And the really good pursuit of Rico Richardson as he is driven back inside the 20-yard line on the opening kickoff of the second half.
Yeah, they got after Tarzan a little bit on that kickoff return.
Well, Rick Comagee was very pointed in his comments to his team after yesterday's walkthrough.
To put it mildly. He was upset and gave him a little bit of a tongue lashing, and you know what we could overhear, kept saying that you guys aren't ready to play. I don't see enough intensity. Guys are talking on the bus. Everybody's so relaxed, joking around, and they haven't been as sharp as they usually are early in this game.
Low snap and a pre-snap flag, false start called against Jackson State.
First down.
Jackson State, by and large, free of penalties. That's only their second infraction of the game. Meanwhile, Tennessee State 8 penalties for 60 yards in the first half.
Oof.
Jackson State had 1 for 15. B.J. Lee, your leading rusher for the game, 48 yards and 6 carries for Jackson State. Terrio 10 of 15 with a pick and a touchdown. 1st and 15. 4 receivers in the formation for Terrio. Out of the gun. Over the middle. Deflected and nearly intercepted. John Jones was in the vicinity. It was intended for Keenan Tillman, number 88.
And it looks like Terrio just missed him on that one. I mean, he got him in the right play. We had a crosser from the right side of the field, drag all the way across. Tennessee State is in a zone cover 3 defense. You drag out the corner, you drag out your slot defender. There is nobody there if they can make that completion on the backside of that defense to make that tackle. That was a huge gain.
Again, 4 receivers for Terrio. Handoff. B.J. Lee, plenty of room. The advance is to the 29-yard line.
Well, BJ's taking
carry.
BJ's doing a great job in space on these draw plays, you know. But if you're Rod Reed and Tennessee State, you've got to make a choice. You can't stop Casey, your All-American quarterback, unless you're going to allow yourself to be undermanned in the defensive front, and that's going to lead access to these draws. BJ's taking full advantage of it.
16-yard pickup for the first down. Terrio in the flat. There's Lee. Got it. 35 out of bounds right around the 40-yard line, and a collision near the sticks. And a flag does indeed come out. So Lee knocked out at the 38-yard line, a pickup of 12, but let's see where the flag's going to be. This will be a 15-yard penalty, I suspect, on someone, as there was action on the sideline. No.
Yeah, unnecessary. Yeah, the guy's out of bounds.
After
We got
the play
about
was over,
a good second.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 80 off.
Personal foul on Michael Perkins.
The down counts. It's second down.
Yeah, Perkins, that was a mistake. There's no reason to take the risk. Play's over. BJ's well out of bounds. There's no reason to try to deliver that blow. It had no impact on the advancing the football.
Ball placed at the 23. Second down and 16. Opening moment of the third quarter. Over the middle. E.J. Drury trying to make his way down at the 45-yard line, and there's a scramble. When Drury went down, the Tennessee State defenders were digging at it at the end of a 22-yard pass play for another Jackson State first down. Drury, a junior from Chesapeake, Virginia, had 4 catches last Saturday against Concordia. He was a big play guy last year. Rod averaged better than 20 yards per catch.
Yeah, it's a nice catch. But even a better pass by Casey.
And here's B.J. Lee rocketing up the right side.
Well, BJ's becoming a force in this game. I understand that Rod Reed wants to get the passing game stopped, but if he doesn't get
offense,
but an illegal shift is going to wipe that out.
5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
V.J. Lee, the leading rusher for Jackson State a year ago, and a head-scratching penalty for Rick Comegee. Lee, 478 yards last year as a sophomore from Ridgeland, Mississippi, and a couple of penalties, a 15-yarder for unnecessary roughness, and now an illegal shift. The ball back at the 40-yard line. First down and 15 for Jackson State. Terrio from the gun, off his back foot. As his receiver, Perkins.
Number 80, Michael Perkins on the reception.
Perkins dragged down just shy of midfield, and that'll bring up a second and manageable situation at second down and 6.
Well, Terrio does a good job there recognizing blitz. Here comes the blitzer. All right, it gets picked up by BJ, delivers it off his back foot to the crossing receiver. Good job on both sides. Good job by the defense. Close and make the tackle on the spot.
Timing pass, good for a first down. Marcellus Wilder He scored the first touchdown of the game, now advances for a first down. Brought down by Joseph Wiley. And Wiley, a stud defensive player for Tennessee State. That's the first time we've called his name tonight. He makes the tackle after a gain of 14.
Terrio does a good job of recognizing zone, soft zone. He's going to be able to have his receiver on the hitch. Bang, delivers the ball on time. Receiver can just catch and run.
1st and 10 from the 36. Jackson State has gone exclusively from the gun in a 4 wideout set, wanting to play with a little bit more tempo. Inside handoff, T.D. Davis, his first carry of the night, takes it to the 29-yard line, so a pickup of 7. This is more of the tempo, Rod, I thought we'd see from Jackson State in the first half.
No question. And Rod Reed is starting to react to it by starting to bring a little bit more pressure. We're seeing safeties blitzing. We're seeing linebackers blitzing. It's not what they want to do at Tennessee State. They'd rather not blitz. But they have to do something to try to take this offense out of the rhythm.
Again, 4 wideouts. T.D. Davis, the lone setback. Option. Terrio keeps, carries for a first down inside the 25. Terrio pitched in the first half, and Tommy Gooden carried it 31 yards for a touchdown there. Terrio on the keep. He has scored a touchdown on the ground himself tonight.
Yeah, I mean, after having the bum ankle in the first half, he's really come out and shown some mobility, thrown a couple balls off his back foot. Now he runs the option and moves the chains.
Offensive coordinator Ernest Wilson sending in the formation and the play call to Casey Terrio. Terrio with hand signals relaying. 1st and 10 from the 25.
He's checking the play for a second time. He sees something he likes.
Play clock down to 1. They just do get the snap away. Terrio over the middle. Got his man. Renty Rollins, the tight end, rumbles down to the 10-yard line, and inside the 10, it'll be 1st and goal, Jackson State at the 9.
Yeah, Terrio does a great job of getting his team into the right formation. What he's seeing is number 10's moving up on the blitz situation. That means man-to-man behind it. You see everybody across the field locked up in one-on-one coverage. Here's your free safety, but he's too far away to have any impact on the play. A matter of fact, he doesn't get up there and help on the tackle. All right, that'd have been nice. But he sees man-to-man coverage, delivers the ball, moves the chains.
Terrio rolling, fades, lobs, end zone. Pass intended for Rico Richardson. Rod, we talked about the relative inexperience of this offensive line for Jackson State. How are they holding up for Terrio?
They're doing well, and I think that Terrio's doing a good job of putting them in positions for them to have success. And what I mean is, you don't want to line up with this young group. They've shuffled guards, they've shuffled tackles, and run the ball directly at Tennessee State. You'll get smashed. What he's done is done a good job of getting rid of the ball quickly to keep him out of long pass protection situations, and B, he's run a bunch of draws, which slows down the Tennessee State defensive line.
2nd down and 9, big rush over the middle. Barreling toward the end zone and in. Touchdown, Jackson State. Tommy Gooden, his 2nd touchdown of the night. This one, a pass reception of 9 yards from Casey Terrio, and Jackson State has the lead back at 27-24.
Especially when you consider the fact they had 3 penalties on this drive, it is remarkable that they scored the football. Terrio's done a masterful job this entire drive of getting his team in the right play, whether it be screen, whether it be short pass, or whether it be a bubble screen. They've done a great job with the quarterback, Terrio, getting him in the right play.
Terrio's 2nd touchdown pass of the night. Jabril Smith, the extra point, the extra effort from the sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. Tommy Gooden carrying tacklers into the end zone. Jackson State back in front early 3rd quarter.
Tenacity. Born of strength. Leads to uncompromising excellence. T, TSU, Tennessee State University, celebrating 100 years of serving the world.
Inspire brilliance. Define remarkable. Nurture ideas. Support discovery. Create adventure. Choose Jackson State. Challenging minds, changing lives.
Okay, this is it, the Built Ford Tough Sales Event. And in this corner, America's most fuel-efficient pickups. Featuring F-150 with exclusive EcoBoost technology that delivers the power and MPGs the so-called contenders can't. Plus, it's ranked highest in initial quality in its class. Now that's a 1-2 knockout punch. On F-150, get 0% financing for 60 months, plus another grand toward your trade-in on top of what it's worth.
Jackson State has reclaimed the lead with their opening drive of the third quarter, so they have scored with their first possession in each half. Second touchdown for Tommy Gooden, 82 yards, and it was actually longer than that, Rod, because they had, as you pointed out, 3 penalties on that drive. Chris Salita has it teed up at the 35-yard line. Martine Stevenson and Travis James, number 6, back deep to receive. This will be James from the 10. And a spectacular defensive play, defeating the blocker and then getting the tackle as well. Well, we talked about this drive being a little longer than 82 yards, but a lot of it Casey Terrio.
Terrio with a great job of being patient on that pass play, waiting for his receiver to come clear across the zone. Bang, man-to-man coverage. Rollins, his big tight end, NFL prospect, hits him coming right out of the break versus man coverage. Very nice throw.
And you talk about running with conviction. How about this from Tommy Gooden? I'm going, and I'm not stopping till I get into the end zone. And Rick Comegee's team has reclaimed the lead from the 21-yard line. Perry got his man over the middle. Calvin McNarl, senior from Paris, Tennessee. He was the MVP of this game in 2009, and if Jeremy Perry can get a win for his team, he would be in line to be the most valuable player this year. But a long way to go in this one.
A very nice play on the deep slant. And what he did, I like about that especially, is he looked front side, drew the defense over, and then went backside on the deep slant, converted it for a first down.
First down at the 35. Ward trying to knife around the left side, tripped up as he got to the line of scrimmage. He will gain 2 on the play to bring up second down and 8.
That was close because they were selling out to stop this run. And if Ward breaks this thing, he goes to the house.
We talked about Tim Dandridge. He was ejected for an egregious late hit against Concordia. Part of the penalty was also sitting out the first half tonight. He is a senior from Detroit, Michigan. He was the 3rd leading tackler for Jackson State last year. Had 3 interceptions, a transfer from Minnesota. And Ward near first down yardage at the 45-yard line. Quay Cox, the starting left cornerback for Jackson State, ushers him to the chalk, but it's enough for a first down for Travis Ward and Tennessee State.
Yeah, just a good old-fashioned Indianapolis coach stretch play to the left. Get the tight end sealing on the outside linebacker, and Ward takes it on up the field. It finishes the run in a physical manner. That is Ron Reed right through his players. Finish the run, hitting somebody.
3 wideouts. Devin Wilson comes in motion. Perry in the flat. And a drop by the fullback, Jonte Gleaves. Fullbacks don't get much run with this team.
Listen, you took it right out of my mouth. Listen, you know, I'm not trying to feed the ball to my fullback, you know, with a lot of zip on it and throw the ball behind him. I mean, if you're going to give the ball to fullback, you're not handing it to him, you better throw it under with some feathers on it and float it in there on the front side. Otherwise, that ball is going to go right through his hands and right on the sideline.
Second down and 10 from the 45. A tip of the cap, Rod, really to both coaches. They have opened up the playbook tonight Ward working the left side. Nothing there. We thought Jackson State would throw it all over the yard. They've been able to run the ball. We thought Tennessee State would run the ball. Perry has had a fantastic passing evening, rather.
A left tackle. Oh, that's called a pancake, gentlemen. Wow, what a big-time block.
Now that's Donovan Robinson, who got his bell rung.
Who's a pro prospect.
Exactly.
I mean, he's no easy guy to pancake.
As Rogers gained 75, took him down. Perry rainbows the right side, just beyond the grasp of Travis James. James looking for a flag. He'll get none. Demetrius McClendon, the junior from Delray Beach, Florida, was back on coverage.
Yeah, good job by our corner here. On the cross, it's really a corner route. But he does a good job, gets his head around, doesn't interfere. And Jeremy Perry does a good job of giving his wideout really a chance to make the catch. It just doesn't get executed.
Matt Mosley will punt. Rico Richardson is back. And we get another whistle. We had 2 delay of game penalties on Tennessee State in a punting situation in the first half.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12-men in formation. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
5-yard penalty on Jackson State. They needed 9, did Tennessee State, for the first down. So the ball will be snapped from the Jackson State side of the field at the 49-yard line to Matt Mosley, the 5'11" freshman from Franklin, Tennessee. Low snap, handles it well. Good hang time on this one, and a tremendous Tennessee State bounce right on the 10-yard line. Timeout at the Liberty Bowl, the 22nd annual Southern Heritage Classic. We do have a classic. 39-yard punt, no return. The Blues on Beale Street. Jackson State up 4. Welcome back to the Liberty Bowl. Jackson State leading Tennessee State 28-24 midway through the third quarter. Well, everybody wants to talk about Casey Terrio, but Jeremy Perry has managed this game exceptionally well. Handoff B.J. Lee out to the 20-yard line. Pickup of, give him 9. And Terrio, remember, was 3rd in football college championship subdivision, rather. He certainly earns all the accolades. But Perry has been very good, particularly with his arm tonight. 2nd and short, B.J. Lee cut down. He'll lose on the play back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Terrio's been fantastic today. He started off a little slow, took him a while to find his rhythm. And I'm talking about passes down the field. I don't mean throwing bubble screens. I mean getting into the course of the game. And now he's got a good feel of it. Tennessee State is reacting, though, finally, to that draw. And they've been getting killed on it.
3rd down. It was 3rd down and 5. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. Jackson State.
Start. 71 offense. 5-yard penalty.
Zion Pyatt,
3rd down.
junior from Baltimore, Maryland, played last year for Lackawanna College. It's a young, inexperienced line. The only holdover is Roderick Gladney, the senior from Jackson, Mississippi, playing with a heavy heart. He lost his father this morning and made the decision that he would play in his final Southern Heritage Classic. 3rd down and 10. Line to gain is the 20. And a bad snap. Terrio is going to go into the end zone, and he gets horse collared, and it will go as a safety.
Or did he tackle too high around the head?
Well, there is a flag out.
There's an incomplete forward pass. Intentional grounding. 11 offense.
The
result of the play is a safety.
Intentional grounding, flag in the end zone, but that was a dangerous and high tackle. So a safety thrown into the mix. A bad snap, the 2nd time in as many years as Jackson State gives up a safety. because of a bad snap. And Terrio, who had his helmet ripped off on a quarterback sneak in the first half, begging for a call there.
Yeah, and he didn't get horse collared. I'm sorry. He didn't grab his face mask. He put his arm up around his chest. It ended up sliding up around his neck, but it wasn't a face mask. I'm surprised that they didn't have a conversation when they went on the football field or somebody didn't signal in, hey, listen, we need to be very aware of where we are on the field. If we have a bad snap, if the ball gets loose in the end zone, whoever is close to it, your responsibility to either A, kick it right out of bounds, or B, scoop it and take it out of the back. We're much better off giving up 2 points, all right, than putting ourselves at risk for 7 points.
Terrio turns his head to the right, and Steven Kapler.
He was surprised, no question. And it was a bad snap.
And it's not the first bad snap that Terrio has had to field.
Yeah, we just have a center and a quarterback on different pages there. Terrio wasn't even looking at the center. The ball's released, and it's low, which makes me think run, because he's trying to get into his run block. So the center rolls it back there. Quarterback's not looking, and we just don't react well to it once the ball's loose in the end zone.
Free kick.
Yeah.
Chris Salita from the 20-yard line.
And he's not going to punt it. He's going to kick it off, huh?
James and Garlington back. This will be James from the 23. Tried to turn the corner.
Good tackle.
And pushed out at the 35-yard line. A 12-yard return following the free kick.
Well, there's Parrott getting ready to head on the field, and you'd have to think that he and Ron Reed would want to get back to their roots and run the football, turn it back into a physical battle.
Both of these coaches, I think, have surprised us a little bit with their play call. The officiating crew, the Ohio Valley Conference, and after a long consultation, a procedure call against Tennessee State. A procedure call on a free kick.
On a free kick?
That's why there was a conversation. Now, Rick Comagee is getting the information.
And Jackson State would rather kick the ball off than punt it. You know, you would think normally in that situation you want to punt it, gain hang time. You know, you have a greater chance to cover it. But he prefers to kick it off in that situation in the free kick rather than punt it. That's highly unusual.
Comagee getting the explanation. Jackson State has won 3 Black College National Championships.
Went out of bounds on his own volition, came back and participated. Penalties declined. First down, Tennessee State.
11 guys on the field. I'd probably punt it in that situation, but what did they do wrong exactly?
I did not hear the official's explanation.
Yeah, that's unusual. That's new to me. Procedure on a free kick. Oh, here we go.
In any event, 1st and 10 from their own 36 for Tennessee State. The safety pulls them within 28-26. Working the right side, Thomas keeps the legs churning across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Pickup of about 6 on the play.
And the big linemen go over to pick Thomas up and congratulate him on saving their butt, because they let a guy sneak into the backfield there. And Thomas does a wonderful job breaking 2 tackles, moving the ball up 6 yards, where it could have easily been a loss of 2. Big time run by your running back there.
Rod Reed told us earlier this week he feels good about his offensive line. And he actually indicated that run-pass balance was going to be one of his keys to this game. Devin Wilson in motion. Quick pass intercepted.
Good hands.
Fantastic hands. That's Thomas Wilcher. It's intended for Devin Wilson. Todd Wilkes, I beg your pardon. And then
how did they rule this?
Ball came out at the end. Devin Wilson comes up with a football. And we've got an injured Tennessee State player. Justin Ridgway, offensive lineman, is down.
Who's a good one. 3-step drop.
The runner was down. Contact.
The linebacker gets right on underneath it.
Officials timeout.
And it will be Jackson State ball. As Wilcher gets upended, ground can't cause a fumble. It came out when he somersaulted over.
And there's no instant replay.
Justin Ridgway, redshirt senior from Pleasant Grove, Alabama, is getting medical attention on the field. Meanwhile, Todd Wilcher with the interception, first of his collegiate career. Here you're looking at Justin Ridgway. Timeout on the field, 5:19 remaining in the third quarter. Jackson State up 2 with the ball.
The amazing story of whether bovine heart tissue can make it.
I'll take a look at number 78 in white, Justin Ridgway, the right tackle. After this interception, or before the interception is made, yeah.
Nothing you can do about that. Just guys playing hard, and unfortunately he got rolled up. I hope he's okay. He's a good one, too.
They did take him straight to the locker room. 1st and 10 from the 44. Pass caught. Rico Richardson right around the 40-yard line. Pickup of 5 on the play.
Richardson does a nice job. Just a basic hitch, finds some softness, moves the ball 5 yards.
Jackson State, 1 Terrio interception in the first half, couple of fumbles lost, 6 penalties, 3 coming on the last drive where they still scored a touchdown. B.J. Lee to the 35-yard line. John Jones takes him down. And John Jones is a guy defensively, he's a pretty scary guy with the way he's been smacking people upside the head. The redshirt senior out of Sarasota, Florida, by way of the University of Florida.
Yeah, good football player.
3rd and 1. Ruben Corley in tight, the lone setback. Actually, Lee was the tail of the tandem, and we get a whistle as Lee was cut down in the backfield.
Prior to the snap, full start. 81 offense.
Randy Rollins with the false start. 3rd down and 6. So we can go ahead and update that graphic with another penalty for Jackson State, and that's now 7. 6 have come in this half. They only had 1 for 15 yards in the first half. It was Tennessee State that had 8 infractions in the first half. They need the 34-yard line.
Looks like zone.
Here comes the blitz. Terrio, hot read over the middle. Pass complete, good for a 1st down. Keenan Tillman, the senior from Miami, Florida, not Miami of Florida. That would be the U. We're talking about the city here.
Terry does a nice job. Had knee full, looked like zone until the last second. Plants his back foot, delivers the ball. Outstanding.
1st and 10 from the 32. 4 wideouts. B.J. Lee, the lone setback. Another bad snap. Bounces off of Terrio's foot. Ball loose. Scramble. Tennessee State football.
Wow. Another huge play. Turnovers are one of the only ways that Tennessee State can hang in this thing, and Jacksonville State keeps giving it to them.
Lamar Wallace comes away with the fumble recovery.
Wow. I mean, it's rolling back right from the beginning. He has no shot.
Wallace forced a fumble last week against Southern. He didn't need to force this. He just needed to fall on it. And Stephen Kapler, number 60 there on the left side of your screen, has really struggled here in the second half, delivering the ball back to Casey Terrio and a pre-snap penalty.
False start, 70 offense.
And right now, Kapler is getting some words, probably of chastisement and encouragement at the same time.
And you know why that is? It's because Rod Reed has dialed up the pressure. They are blitzing every other snap, trying to change the rhythm for JSU. Okay, so now we've got center and offensive linemen trying to get out of there fast, and snaps are rolling back. It is directly a result of the pressure that Rod Reed's bringing.
False start penalty cost Tennessee State 5. Dante Thomas makes up for that. A yard shy of first down yardage at the 48-yard line.
Thomas does a nice job. I really like his running style. You notice as soon as he gets through the line of scrimmage, the first thing he does is head north and south. I mean, he squares his shoulders to the line of scrimmage, and he's looking for yardage. And if anybody gets in his way, he's going to finish it in a physical manner, i.e. Rod Reed.
2nd and a yard. 4 wideouts for Perry. He'll hand it Thomas, and Thomas into Jackson State territory for a first down.
Yeah, Rod Reed is, you can feel as we start getting late in the third, fourth quarter's coming on, his team's down by 4. He feels like his bigs are starting to wear on Jackson State a little bit, and you're going to start to get a heavy dose of run here. Thomas to the left, Ward to the right. They're going to run it over the big tackles. You can feel that they really want to get the run game going and pound out this W.
They led it 24-21 at halftime. Perry on the roll. Delivers a strike. And it's ruled incomplete. James came down but could not secure it.
Well, Perry's giving his guys an opportunity to make a play. I mean, that's all you can do. Put some air on it, get it over the outside shoulder. Your wideout's got to make this catch. Not bad defense by Hill. Cornerback's in good situation, doesn't interfere, gets his head around, slaps the ball.
James nearly pulled that in off his hip.
But James has got to slow down early in that down and catch the ball at the highest point and make that catch.
2nd down and 10 for Jeremy Perry. Rod Reed said Perry just needs to manage the game. Doesn't need to win it all by himself. And what was that you said at the AutoZone keys to the game that Tennessee State needed to avoid pre-snap penalties?
I mean, last week they threw away 5 series with pre-snap penalties. I mean, you're only going to get 11, 13 series in a game. You can't throw away 5 and expect to beat people, can you?
Especially a team that offensively is as dangerous as Jackson State.
You give Terrio the ball 3 or 4 extra series a game, you might get beat by 20. It's amazing that they're hanging in.
2 receivers to the wide side of the field for Perry. Play action.
Good play.
Has his man in the flat. That's Wesley Samuels. Hill runs him out of bounds right around the midfield stripe. Mike Hill is a junior from Jackson, Mississippi. Played in 9 games last year and in fact made an impact as a true freshman in 5 games the year before that.
Well, Mike Hill does a great job of not biting on this play action, sliding his feet. Again, staying square to the line of scrimmage, chasing his man straight to the sideline and pushing him out of bounds. Wonderful defensive play.
3rd down and 11. The 39-yard line is what Tennessee State needs. Here comes pressure. Perry hit from the blind side. Pass is incomplete. Mike Hill, a tremendous defensive series for that young man.
Yeah.
He was working a lot tonight because of the suspension to Tim Dandridge. And I certainly think that that has helped Mike Hill a lot, particularly here in the 2nd half.
Well, at this point, now you want to leave him in because he's feeling it. He's making plays. He's rushing the passer. He's showing you wonderful technique against the bootleg play-action pass on the last play. He's feeling it right now.
Matt Mosley punting to Rico Richardson. This is a high hanger. Richardson. Oh, ball's out again. Early indication, Tennessee State.
No.
But nobody in a striped shirt is agreeing at this point.
Not turnover number 5. Phew.
Jackson State retains possession
Boy,
Rico Richardson, in that case, you would have thought should have called for a fair catch. And that's pretty close to interference with the opportunity to catch a punt, but Richardson muffs it, gets back on it.
Yeah, it looked like Richardson was just a little too relaxed. I mean, you want to be relaxed and fluid as you approach catching a punt, but you don't want to be so lackadaisical it goes right through your hands.
Shotgun snap, this time goes off without a hitch. Terrio hemmed in, whipped down at the 8-yard line. There's John Jones again. He's having a whale of a game from his outside linebacker position.
Another funky snap. Great job by Jones, though, pursuing inside. Look at him run. Transferring from Florida, sat out all last year, but was a stud in 2009. One of the leading tacklers. Bunch of sacks, bunch of forced fumbles. Now he's just getting back into the program, back into the lineup, and he's having a major impact. He's a good athlete.
Empty backfield for Terrio. Feels the rush. Comes over the middle. B.J. Lee's got it at the 20, out of bounds at the 21. A couple yards shy of a first down. We're in the final minute of the third quarter. And an 11-yard pickup on the reception. Terrio to B.J. Lee.
You know, I don't know if B.J. Lee has the best 40 time out here or he runs the fastest 400-meter dash, but he looks like the fastest guy on the field. Every time he's got the ball in his hands, he's just running away from people.
He's 5'7". He comes out of the locker room looking fast among all the big guys.
He's got speed and quickness. He's a weapon.
Clock winds, 37 seconds. Third down and 3. And a timeout taken. The play clock was down to 1.
Jackson State, 30-second timeout, first timeout.
And there has been some miscommunication between offensive coordinator Ernest Wilson and Casey Terrio with the use of hand signals, and Terrio saw the play clock down to 1, and understanding the gravity of the situation here, deep in your own territory, up 2, 3rd and 3, that's one thing. 3rd and 8, an entirely different issue.
Well, it's going to be an interesting dynamic, you know, and I'm going to say it. It's going to be something to watch this year as Terrio progresses as a senior quarterback, how he works with his offensive coordinator. Because remember, the play comes in from the sideline from the offensive coordinator. It's merely a formation. All right. Now Casey's got to determine exactly what play they run out of that formation. So the coordinator and the quarterback have to work together. You're seeing some ripples there because the coordinator is saying, hey, I called this formation. I want you to run play A. And Casey's saying, hey, coach, I got the formation, but I want to run play B. So you've got a little bit of disconnect, something that's got to get figured out as the season goes on. Who's actually making the call? Is Casey making the call at the end of the day, or is my coordinator making the call at the end of the day?
Jackson State only 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions, and Terrio will work from under center. B.J. Lee, the tailback. Corley goes in motion. Option play, wide open for Terrio, 25, and he wisely scampers out of bounds at the 26-yard line. First down for Jackson State.
Smart. Smart. Even though the pitch was available, there's no reason to put that ball at risk and flip it out there. Just go ahead and get the first down, run it out of bounds, move the chains, keep the clock running.
You referenced it at the top of the telecast, Terrio's high football IQ. He knows what is needed, what is open, and can respond with tremendous reflexes. The clock winds after the sticks are set, and we will not get another play here in the third quarter. We will head to the fourth quarter. 28-26, Jackson State, the ball and the lead. 6 of the last 7 Southern Heritage Classic football games have been decided by 7 or fewer points. We are headed in that direction again. Main Street in downtown Memphis, Tennessee, the Orpheum Theater. We are at the Liberty Bowl, and Rod, the AutoZone keys that you shared with us at the top of the telecast, well, there's the score by a quarter, 28-26, Jackson State the lead. But you had some ideas about how this game might play out at the top of the telecast. Have they come to fruition? Have you been all-seeing and all-knowing?
Well, Tennessee State's done a good job
Well, I shouldn't say that. They have not done a good job of the drive-killing penalties. What they've done is overcome penalties in most situations that causes drives. Casey's been playing fantastic for the last, call it 2.5 quarters. It took him a little while to get warmed up, but he's done a great job of getting his team in the right play. You just see him right now delivers another strike. Why? Because he sees soft zone, he checks to it, his receiver gets the 5 yards, bang, delivers the football. He's playing like a coach in the field right now.
Keenan Tillman picks up 10 on the reception. Well, how about this? Terrio 9 for 11, more than 100 yards in the third quarter.
Yeah, he's getting after it. He's starting to feel comfortable. He understands what the look is what the Tennessee's defense is going to show him, and he's feeling comfortable picking the right play.
A yard shy of the first down. Out of the shotgun, and this has been dicey. Slings it. Incomplete. Tried to hit Tillman again.
I'm surprised Terry didn't check that thing to a run. He only got 2 yards for a first down. Yeah, he goes 10 for 12 for 113 in a touchdown. He's been on fire. I've been more impressed with his ability to get his team lined up correctly and check to the right play than I have about his ability to throw the football.
Looks one way, goes the other. Going to turn it upfield. Has the first down on a 3rd and 1 conversion out to the 44-yard line. Last year, Terrio threw for 284 yards and 4 touchdowns in a 33-26 win here at the Liberty Bowl.
Whoop, the little head fake to the right. I don't think it was a head fake. I think what he's trying to do is release the bubble screen, but Tennessee State had it covered.
That was Lawrence Peterson that left several items of his uniform on the field. Faked out of set equipment by Casey Terrio. First down, wanted to go long, and the roof caves in. That was one of the questions about this Jackson State team, their offensive line. Lamar Wallace comes in for the sack. He had 3 sacks a year ago, has his first one of this season.
Well, Jackson State can't get too comfortable with their passing game where they get a little lazy and they have a straight drop back and allow Tennessee State's defensive line to work one-on-one against the offensive lineman of Jackson State. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. Their offensive line is going to lose that battle every time. And what they did is they put them in that situation and they got the sack. And the quarterback's got to get rid of the ball quickly.
A loss of 7, second down and 17. The second Tennessee State sack of the night. More pressure comes. Terrio running for his life. Just throws it away and will face a 3rd down and 17.
Woo, awful close to a penalty at the end of that play. Yeah, this is starting to get physical. It's starting to get nasty. Jones hits him, bang, right on the tape. Oh, was that a little kick in there? What we got going there?
Little helmet to helmet as
helmet
well.
to helmet. I'll tell you what, but Jones is a monster. I'm telling you, the kid out of Florida is a fantastic football player. He had to sit out all last year, so you know he's enjoying every second of every play. That's why you see this kid running from sideline to sideline, diving on tackles, because he just missed the game so much last year. I'm sure he's excited to be out here.
Terrio again running for his life as B.J. Lee, and Lee will lose a couple on the pass completion.
Yeah.
As if the competitive spirit wasn't high enough coming into this ball game. Getting a lot higher. Rico Council, we haven't called his name a whole lot tonight, but he had that play diagnosed very well.
Yeah,
took
Rico
down B.J. Lee.
You know, and that actually was a screen. It took about 5 years for it to develop, but that actually was a screen. But Rico does a great job of sniffing it out, staying with his man and making the tackle.
Weldon Garlington back at his own 35-yard line. Chris Salita. Good snap. Low driving kick. Garlington has to retreat to his 26-yard line. Hemmed in and dropped at the 32-yard line.
Oh, this is getting fun. I love this part of the game. The teams know each other. The players know each other. They understand where they're going to be, and it is just getting raw, and it's getting physical. And guys are getting knocked to the ground. Boom!
41-yard punt from the freshman.
At the
The Southern Heritage Classic on Sports South is brought to you in part by FedEx, solutions that matter. By AutoZone, get in the zone, AutoZone. And by Carrier, turn to the experts. We are 3 minutes into the fourth and final quarter. Those are the Beale Street Flippers, by the way. If you're coming to Memphis, you might want to check them out. Fantastic football game. Whether you are a fan, alum, or whatever of either school, it's been a wonderful football game, and it is far from over. First down and 10. Tennessee State. Jeremy Perry's going to be wrapped up. Joseph LeBeau with the sack.
Yeah, and Robinson there to help out, finish them. I mean, it is too late in the game to get your quarterback sacked. I'm still surprised that they ran the ball on first down.
Loss of 9. And when you think about the respective offenses in this half, Jackson State's offense has had much the better of it, but they've also made a couple of crucial errors, including a safety on a bad snap. Second down, 19.
False start.
More laundry.
75 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Rod, it may not be the team that takes this game by the throat. It may be the team that makes or doesn't make the crucial error.
Without question. You know, I'm surprised. I would think that Rod Reed would line up here and just force the ball down Jackson State's throat. And you can see Jackson State's been outgaining them 90 yards. I mean, you've got to close the gap, and you've got to close it by running the football, making it a physical battle. You're not going to beat Jackson State throwing the ball all across the yard, despite the improvement that Perry's made in this game. He's a much better football player, quarterback.
Travis Ward picks up 8. But that will bring up a third down and long. Third down and 15 for Jeremy Perry.
Horrible situation if you're an offensive coordinator. We're going to go three guys wide, 3 wide out to the wide side, 1 to the short side. Probably look at some man coverage, some kind of blitz coming out of Jackson State to force the ball out early.
Ward, the lone setback, 3-man front for Jackson State. They'll go with the draw, and there's nothing there. Ward is engulfed by that dark side defense of Jackson State. Todd Wilcher, who had an interception earlier tonight, in on the tackle. A Jackson State player had his bell rung. That's Joseph LeBeau.
Yep, Jackson State dialing up a little pressure, playing a little man-to-man, and 3rd and long. Rod Reed, awful conservative, but totally understandable. I actually like to draw in that situation, punt it away and try to get a stop with your defense.
Matt Mosley back deep to punt. Quay Cox back at his own 25-yard line.
You know, Cox is a playmaker. You haven't called his name much today, but had 2 picks last week and a couple picks last year in spot duty. He's a guy that seems to find the football.
Not an artistic success, but a good roll out of bounds at the 31. Jackson State will put it in play at that point. 5 minutes into the 4th quarter at the Liberty Bowl.
How many ways can you be comfortable?
Jackson State band looks on. Their team a 28-26 lead over Tennessee State. When you look at this, Rod, last year Jackson State was very much a 4th quarter team. And the inside handoff, nothing doing there. Loss of a yard on the play as they went to Tommy Gooden. Last year Jackson State outscored opponents 108-45 in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, when you look at the flip side of it, Tennessee State was outscored in the 4th quarter by 36 points. You know, Rod Reed will tell you it's because they were thin on defense. They didn't have enough guys to play the whole game. They didn't share snaps the way he's sharing snaps because he has more players that are active now. So let's take a look. I mean, we've got traditionally Tennessee State should get smoked in this 4th quarter, but this is a different group of kids, and we'll see how they perform.
2nd and 11. Jailbreak. Ontario, all he could do was throw it away. Tennessee State let it at halftime, 24-21. Opening drive of the second half. Casey Terrio passing to Tommy Gooden for a 9-yard touchdown, and JSU had a 28-24 lead, but then they surrendered to safety. 3rd down and 11. Through the first 3 quarters, Jackson State only 2 of 5 on 3rd down. They need the 41.
A lot of movement on defense. Trying to confuse.
Terrio over the middle, caught but short of a 1st down. Pass caught by Keenan Tillman. So that will bring up 4th down. And Terrio and Jackson State will have to kick it away.
Yeah, Terrio's having a little miscommunication with his wideouts. They're not doing what they're supposed to do, you know? Terrio's calling for crossing routes, and we have wideouts that are stopping. The wide receivers are seeing the defense as man-to-man, and Casey's thing is seeing it as zone. And there's your conflict. The receivers should be running across, and they're stopping.
Bad snap. Salita is able to pull it up on a bounce and get away a bouncing punt that rolls to the 26-yard line. Tennessee State down by 2, under 8.5 remaining. They'll put it in play.
It's time for the Southwest Airlines State Fair.
Well, Beale Street will be a busy place tonight. Some will celebrate a victory, some will drown their sorrows, and our crew is just going to be relieved that they had a great telecast tonight. Great crew here, as always, at the Southern Heritage Classic. Jackson State leading Tennessee State 28-26. 1st and 10. Perry, backside pressure, throws incomplete. Pass was intended for his tight end, London Davis.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And we have another penalty.
Offside a little early on the rush. Well, this is Perry's time, all right? I mean, he's a senior quarterback. He's unquestionably the leader on offense of this program. They're going to have to put the ball in his hands in some situations and make plays. This is his time to shine.
Tennessee State 3-8 a year ago. They were in pretty much every game.
This carry for TSU, number 32, Dante Thomas.
You know,
Dante Thomas carries.
And we talked to Perry yesterday, and he said, you know, all the questions last year about whether he should be the starting quarterback, they should put this guy in there, should now go back to playing the quarterback position. He fought through the entire season with a lot of naysayers. This is an opportunity on a big stage in a classic game to assert himself as the quarterback of this university, not just its football program.
Rick Comegee looks on. Thomas cuts back. He will be shy of the 1st down by a yard, so that will bring up a crucial 3rd down situation as the clock is under 8 minutes and closing in on 7.5. 3rd down and 1 for Jeremy Perry and the Tennessee State Tigers.
You put the ball in his hands here, or do you just pound it up the middle, or what's the call here?
Well, I think you have to run right at him.
I agree.
I mean, right now, Jeremy Perry had a spectacular passing 1st half, but the 2nd half, not so much. And knocked down in the backfield is Thomas. And Donovan Robinson knifes in to make the play. The senior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, led the SWAC with 18.5 tackles for loss.
A great play by Robinson, but good reaction, nice play, gets in the backfield, and then, you know, it's easy to get back there. It's a lot tougher to make the tackle on a talented back like Ward or Thomas. Great job. I would have liked to have seen Perry use a delayed count, change the snap count. Don't let the guys just run to the line of scrimmage on defense and just blow through the line of scrimmage.
Bouncing punt down at the 27-yard line from Matt Mosley. And flags fly in and tempers are flaring. That flag came in well after the whistle on a 38-yard punt.
Yeah, about 15 yards away from where the ball landed. Big-time classic game. Tempers run hot. This game's important to a lot of folks. This character right here, Rod Reed, he's been preaching all week that we're going to knock these guys around. We're going to establish ourselves in a physical manner. Players are amped.
After the play was over, unnecessary roughness, 43 on the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal line.
And that is
First down, Jackson State.
Huge mistake for Jackson State.
Wow, that kills you.
They're going for the knee. Grabbing the ankle.
Grabbing the ankle. What's it?
Looks a little bit like MMA.
What are we doing over there? Yeah, just lost his cool.
Ariane McCree, number 43. Casey Terrio.
Wow.
And 8 of those for Jackson State are in the second half.
20 penalties.
Make it 21.
Are you kidding?
False start, 44 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I can't even finish saying 20 penalties before it just ticks on me, really?
Now, and Rick Comagee said, you know, last week against Concordia, it's a Division III school. They left scores on the field because of just carelessness and lack of concentration. And here in the fourth quarter, when you need field position, the lead is only 2. They've given up 20 yards in 2 plays. And that one deflected out of bounds. John Jones.
Forward pass incomplete.
Oh, he's a monster. He's a monster.
Well, he's a guy that would have to be involved in the conversation of the most valuable player of the game.
Oh, I mean, he's got some. Let me tell you what, he is just, for his size, you know, 6'3", a 215-ish guy. He is the fastest, quickest guy on the football field. At that kind of body structure, he is the fastest, most active player in the stadium tonight.
Second down and 15. Terrio from the gun. Remember, in the third quarter, deep in his own territory, had a bad snap, a safety. Rainbows, left side, nobody home. Good coverage by Tennessee State.
Terrio just threw that away. He didn't have what he wanted. And I'll tell you what, they're doing a great job of mixing up the look of the coverage for Tennessee State. They're showing a little zone. They're kind of moving safeties around. Are we going to blitz? Are we not going to blitz? And since Rod Reed has dialed up pressure probably 30 to 40% of the time in the second half, you know, Casey's not really sure if they show blitz, it might be blitz, okay?
It was a shootout first half, but the offense has dried up here in the second half. Both teams struggling here in the fourth. Terrio, bad snap, steps up, spins away, throws a little looping pass. Is it a catch?
Is he past the line of scrimmage?
The ball ended up in the hands of Rico Richardson. The line of scrimmage was the 9.
Terry did a great job of keeping this play alive. Another bad snap.
The advance of the ball is near a first down. Not sure if it's enough. And yeah, he's behind the 10.
He's behind the 10.
But the line of the scrimmage was 9.
Yeah.
And remember, there is no instant replay review. Rico Council was there on the coverage. It is ruled a catch and enough yardage for the first down. Actually, Rico Council getting some medical attention. What a play by Rico Richardson to come back and bail out Casey Terrio.
Is he beyond the line of scrimmage? Because it's the 9, isn't it?
It is. Over the 6'6" E.J. Drury, and Richardson makes the play. A first down. There's the bubble screen. Marcellus Wilder scored on a 62-yard play, very similar to that in the first quarter. Not nearly so successful this time.
Yeah, good job of the interior defense running inside out for Tennessee State and getting out there and making a play on it. This is what they lacked in the first quarter.
Pickup of 3, make it second down and 7. Clock now beginning to be a bit of an issue, under 6 minutes to play.
No question.
Tennessee State needs possession. Jackson State would love to run it right down the field. Tennessee State's offense, negligible, and we're being kind. to the sideline. Keenan Tillman. Keenan Tillman really got no run in the first half, but in the second half, he has been Terrio's favorite target and moved the sticks again.
And Terrio and Kamaji have enough confidence in their short passing attack that they will use these short passes as run plays. All right, they can still throw the ball. They have a high completion percentage. The receiver can stay in bounds. They can keep the clock moving, and they can hold possession.
Ball on the 37 for Terrio, working from the shotgun. Quarterback draw, nothing up the middle, and gets out of bounds, loses about a yard.
Oh, it runs right out of bounds. I mean, don't you want to keep the clock moving here? I mean, isn't that the goal?
Ideally. This is a Jackson State team that may well win this game, Rod, but they're just out of sync. And we talked to Rick Kamaji, who said, you know, this year we need to quote the movie Spinal Tap, we need to turn the knob up to 11. They're reaching for it, but they're not able to turn it up here in the fourth quarter.
I'll say it this way. They're wildly inefficient. They're incredibly talented, and they're well coached. And that sounds kind of jerky, but it's not. They're well coached. They know what they're doing. They can execute a very complicated passing attack. But they shoot themselves in the foot a ton.
Heavy rush. Tillman has it left side, breaks over through at the 50 to the 45 and is spun down at the 40-yard line. Keenan Tillman with a big second half as Rod Reed brought big pressure with the Tennessee State defense, and Terrio a 23-yard connection to Keenan Tillman.
Tillman does a great job of coming free here, but you know what? If it's man-to-man coverage and blitz coverage, who's covering him? I mean, there's nobody close to him. Here's Keenan across the field. Who's on him? I mean, that looks like a bust by the defense. Tennessee State missed picking up a wide receiver. In the man-to-man coverage, that gets you killed.
Option pitch, Gooden, 35, 20, cuts back to the 10, to the 5, and tumbled down at the 2-yard line. Tommy Gooden, who took an option pitch from Terrio in the first half to the house, rips off a 39-yard gain to make it 1st and goal. We're going to make it our State Fair Classic play of the game. The State Fair Classic play of the game.
Terrio's doing a great job with this option, not only getting them into that play, but calling it the right direction where they have a man advantage over the defense. As you notice, there's no strong safety to come up and provide quick run support on the exterior of that formation.
Play clock about to expire, and they do not get it off in time. Communication issues with Jackson State. 1st and goal on the 2, or an illegal substitution.
5-yard penalty.
Jackson State struggled against Concordia in the second half last week. Odd to say when you win 44-2 that you struggled in the second half.
But they did.
But they did.
It is so painful to watch an offense back themselves up. Now they're so talented on offense, and like I said, they run a highly sophisticated pass offense which is capable of causing anybody problems at this level of football, no question. If they can figure out a way to become more efficient, they would be world beaters.
1st and goal from the 7. Gooden is the tailback, Corley the fullback. Gooden, ball on the ground, rolls over and is able to recover. I believe this will remain Jackson State's football at about the 7 or 8 yard line. And the clock continues to move. That is Jackson State's ally. And really a touchdown at this juncture would put it away for Jackson State.
Wow, it's just a toss sweep. You've been doing it since 3rd grade, and it hits them right in the chest.
2nd down and goal from the 8. Terrio working from under center. Good in the tailback. Play action. Terrio rolling, tucking it, and is dragged down out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
Very, very smart play.
And we have a flag in the end zone.
A little bootleg, 2-man route. Neither one of them are open. Just taken on out of bounds.
And a flag was dropped in the end zone. Personal foul. Oh, and a personal foul called against Jackson State.
Are you kidding me? There's no way. Personal foul on who?
The flag was dropped about 2 yards in the end zone.
Is there a scrum? Was there a scrum going on in the end zone?
I didn't see it.
Uh-oh.
Well, now you're 3rd and 21.
And you've got to go over and talk to the coach and explain to him why you punched somebody in the neck. You're back in the end zone and get a 15-yard penalty and took us out of field goal range. No, you don't want to be that guy. I tell you that much. Yeesh.
3rd down and goal from the 21. Lee in the backfield. 4 receivers for Terrio. Here comes the pressure. Terrio rolls, throws back, end zone, touchdown! Oh my goodness, Rico Richardson!
Wow. Terrio makes the play, makes a fantastic play. Beating a free blitzer one-on-one, avoids him cleanly, stays on his feet, locates the receiver crossing from the backside, and it could be, dare I say it, the dagger.
Well, you need this extra point to make it a 2-score game. Jabril Smith is on. It is up, it is good, and it is a 35-26 lead for Casey Terrio and the Jackson State Tigers. Overcoming all manner of self-inflicted wounds, a wide-open Rico Richardson reels it in from 21 yards out. Quite a game here at Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. 35-26, Jackson State with the lead. How many times do you convert a 3rd and goal from the 21-yard line? Casey Terrio converts it to Rico Richardson for a 9-point lead. 11 plays, 71 yards, but you'll remember 2 personal fouls in that drive and also 20 yards of penalties before they even started the drive. There was a 15-yard personal foul on the receipt of the punt and then a 5-yard penalty on the first play from scrimmage. Short kick. Picked up by Martine Stevenson, and he is cut down at the 21-yard line. Well, Rod, you said when you blitz, you also got to contain, and contain is blown right there.
Yeah, Terrio's got the, he does a great job of keeping his eyes down the field, but the best thing he does is avoid the rush clean, buys himself some time, and finds his #1 target, Richardson, in the corner of the end zone. As a former defensive player, I hate to see a free blitzer run straight by the quarterback and not even get a hand on him. And you can't give a quarterback as talented as Casey is that kind of opportunity and that kind of time to locate receivers down the field.
After 7 consecutive losses in the Southern Heritage Classic, Jackson State and Casey Terrio looking for consecutive wins. And we haven't received an official indication, but I think we're going to have a re-kick. It gives us an opportunity to remind you, of course, this is the 10-year anniversary of 9/11 coming up tomorrow. Casey Terrio's been through a lot in his life, and his younger brother actually serves in special forces. Just got back from a tour in Afghanistan. 10-yard penalty has been assessed to Jackson State. And our thoughts and prayers are with all our armed forces, with our deepest gratitude for all they do to keep us safe, including Casey's brother, and our thoughts and prayers with all those who were affected by 9/11.
Hear, hear. Well said.
Salida will kick off. Taken by Martine Stevenson. 35, tripped up at the 38-yard line. Ariane McCree, who had a personal foul penalty earlier tonight, in there to make the tackle. When you look at Jeremy Perry, his last opportunity to play at the Liberty Bowl in the Southern Heritage Classic, down 9. So you need a quick score and an onside kick. Meanwhile, Casey Terrio, his numbers tonight, 27 of 39, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Woof. 7 TDs, 1 interception, more than 600 yards for Terrio. in 2 games against Tennessee State. Rod Reed's not going to miss him at all. Perry over the middle and just off the fingertips. Travis James got his mitts on it but couldn't reel it in. 1:50 remaining in this one. Tennessee State has all 3 of their timeouts. Jackson State has 2 of theirs.
You know, and James is normally a very sure-handed receiver, but he's been fighting the ball a little bit today. I don't know if he's got some new gloves on or if it's playing under the lights. I don't know what it is, but he normally is sure-handed, and today he just seems like he's fighting it.
2nd down and 10 from the 38. The Tennessee State offense has been shut out here in the second half. They got 2 points off the safety. Completion there. Ball fumbled. And that is going to be your ball game. Jackson State on the recovery. Demetrius McClendon, after the ball was fumbled away, Travis James most unhappy with that turn of events, and with 1:40 remaining, Jackson State about to put this one away.
Perry does a great job and throws a laser all the way out to the sidelines.
It's Jeremy Pryor,
and Pryor
fumbles it away.
Puts it on the turf.
How painful is it for him? Pryor, a redshirt sophomore from here in Memphis. And another fumble. Terrio makes a touchdown-saving tackle on Wilson Robinson.
It wouldn't be the Southern Heritage Classic if it didn't go down to the last play of the game. I'm telling you, they will figure out a way to make it happen. Unbelievable.
Well, Jackson State had a crucial fumble last year, you'll remember, with about 2 minutes to play. And Terrio
saves the day, I'm telling you, because he's going to rumble right down the field for a touchdown. That's a big-time play. That might be your play of the game right there. Your quarterback on the back grabbing the defensive end by the ankles.
Jeremy Pryor is bailed out. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Perry bobbled and dropped Devin Wilson, normally sure-handed over the middle. Clock stops with 1:29. So 46 yards to go. And of course, it's still a 2-score ball game. But Rod, this is the 2nd year I've done this game, and I have learned never to say never with this football game.
Well, you know, it is never going to happen if TSU doesn't calm down a little bit. They're a little panicked. They're a little hyper right now. They're pressing too hard, and they're dropping easy passes.
There he has 4 wideouts. Little pressure. Shovel pass up ahead.
Go score.
Very nearly a horse collar tackle as Ryan Berry, the redshirt junior from Nashville,
Berry gives a little fake block. Basically, it's a long shovel pass is what it is. Finds a little room up the field.
Perry, flush from the pocket, throws, tipped, nearly intercepted. Quay Cox got a hand on it. Cox, a junior from Tuskegee, Alabama, had 2 interceptions last year.
He also had 2 interceptions last week.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid is a playmaker. He only played a few downs.
Intended for Devin Wilson.
That hurts him.
Clock stops with 1:10. 2nd down and 10. Ball on the 33.
Yeah, Cox is a ball hawk. He's one of those guys, by the time his career is over, it wouldn't surprise me to see him with 15 or 20 interceptions. He's one of those guys that gets his hands on the football.
Perry out of the gun. Feels pressure, steps up deep over the middle. Reception made at the 15-yard line. Pass caught Devin Wilson. 1st down. And a timeout to attend to an injured Jackson State player.
Williams does a nice job in this route by getting depth early in the route. A lot of young wide receivers don't do that. They want to get moving across the football so quickly to make themselves available to the quarterback. He does a great job of getting depth up the field, create some separation. Then you take the thing on the dig route, take it across, and make yourself available to the quarterback. Nice job running the route to get himself available.
Richard Hughes, starting safety, out of the ball game following that 17-yard pickup.
That's a big loss because Hughes is a player and he calls all their adjustments in the secondary.
Rod Reed, his 2nd year as head coach of Tennessee State, trying to win his 1st Southern Heritage Classic as a head coach. Clock is moving. 50 seconds remaining. Perry, quick drop. Fade pattern, not there. Intended for Calvin McNarl. Clock stops with 43 seconds remaining.
A bit of a strange play call there. I mean, it was zone, it wasn't man. You've got a safety on the hash covering that half the field. There's just not a lot of room over there for the fade. Maybe you run the slant, there might be room in there for that, but the fade not going to work against cover 4 or cover 2.
Perry works from the gun.
Now we may have some man.
3 receivers to the right. He's going to go that way. Back shoulder fade incomplete. Oh! Travis James. That ball was delivered on his back shoulder, and James not able to latch on.
That was beautiful. Did you see Perry throw that rock? That was fantastic. Long back shoulder fade, and it goes right through his hand. You're kidding me. You can listen. Brett Favre cannot throw the football any better than that.
And you see an equipment manager in the background. He's got a Tennessee State.
Listen,
he knows it's 6.
He's sick. Oh, it's unbelievable. He's the best wide receiver they have, and he's fighting himself like crazy today. What's going on?
38 seconds remain. 3rd down. Perry double clutches. Goes back of the end zone, incomplete. Again, trying to hit Travis James. Coverage provided by Mike Hill.
And he's got some space. Well, maybe not. He had guys in his face.
This becomes just a jump ball situation,
but even that ball is high and away. You know what I mean? He's still trying to give his wide a chance. Just get to the pylon, and I'll give you a shot at a catch.
They're going to go for a field goal here. 33-yarder. Jamin Godfrey, a new career long 43 in the first half. Snap, placement, kick to the uprights, and it is good. They make it 35-29.
Godfrey is money now. He went from being 500 last year to this year. He doesn't miss.
Well, this could be a wild finish. Last year was definitely a wild finish.
Well, first we got a strip here. I mean, Jackson State's running the clock out. The game's over, okay? Then they fumble the ball.
They're up 7, and then this play, that to me is a touchdown.
And that's a touchdown right there. What are you doing? That's a bad call. They got job.
Then I call pass interference. Ball on the 2. Perry rolls out, throws. It's too high.
Right
clock
there.
Stop.
Stop the clock.
They didn't stop the clock.
But there are 2 seconds left.
I know. But 33-26, Rod Reed and Tennessee State came out on the short end of that score. An onside kick is forthcoming. And as we've said, it's the Southern Heritage Classic. It wasn't a full moon out tonight, but
close.
But it is close. And never say never.
Well, I mean, Auburn just won a game like this, if I'm not mistaken. All right, they were dead in the water, got a perfect bounce, drove it down and got a score and won a football game. It is possible.
Now, this is interesting. Matt Mosley will kick off. Normally, it would be Jamin Godfrey. Mosley's the freshman from Franklin, Tennessee, does the punting.
Why is the ball not all the way another hash to give himself as much space as possible for it to bounce? Am I wrong?
Bouncing ball on the ground, pile up.
Oh, wow. Did they get it? Did they get it?
They will unpile.
It looked like it hit a Jackson State pair of hands, but then Rollins didn't come up with it. I thought it hit Rollins' hands.
And a little pushing and shoving around the periphery.
Yeah, it hit Rollins' hands, and then I looked at it a second later, he didn't have the ball. I'm like, wait a minute, if you touched it, you don't have it, he's got it.
Tennessee State has possession, and the freshman Matt Mosley, a thrill for him, a successful onside kick. The officials are still conversing.
I thought it hit Rollins' hands. Half a second later, Rollins isn't possessing the ball anymore.
Let's listen.
A member of the kicking team touched the ball. After the play was over, unnecessary roughness, number 43 of the kicking team. Correction of the receiving team. That's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
Now, a member of Tennessee State touched this before it went 10. Watch the bounce. Watch the bounce. It hits a helmet right there. So that is illegal touching.
Right up the helmet. You're DQ. That's too bad.
And actually, it looked like Rico Richardson had a beat on it and maybe had it wrestled from his grasp. Now, there was also apparently a 15-yard penalty on Jackson State. Rod Reed's not happy, but that replay shows pretty conclusively that the ball hit a Tennessee State player in the helmet. And the kicking team cannot touch it before it goes 10 yards. 24 seconds remaining. Jackson State just has to run this out. Tennessee State another penalty. Jackson State
33 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Jackson State has 2 timeouts. They really don't want to use them. Tennessee State has all 3 of theirs if they want to try. And I don't even know that there's enough time that they can extend this game to a point where they would get the ball back. And I'm thinking if I'm Casey Terrio, I'm taking a knee and I'm getting on the bus back to Jackson.
No question. There's no reason to run a play.
Yet they're going to run a play. And Terrio takes a pounding and then goes out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Clock stops with 15 seconds. Watch right there.
Timeout.
Fantastic camera work by our crew tonight.
The clock operator, please set the
Justin
game clock
Bather,
to 17
number
seconds.
45. They hit him in the helmet. And the first timeout taken by Rod Reed's Tennessee State Tigers.
That'll be followed by the Battle of the Bands and feature Tennessee State University's Aristocrat Band and Jackson State University's Sonic.
Let's take another look at the bouncing onside kick.
22nd annual Southern Heritage Classic here on Rex Zachary Field at Liberty Bowl Memorial.
But there's another angle where we saw it from the side. From the side view, where it does look like it deflects and changes angles coming off his head.
And the other thing that I would say in defense of the officials, possible to hear ball hit helmet.
Yeah, like look at this angle. You see, you can see it bounce
changes. Yeah, it changes its bounce when it hits the helmet.
I agree. Why are you
running plays and not just taking a knee?
Listen, why would you run the best player in the FCS on a quarterback option play when the game is already over and risk losing him for the season?
Because I just don't know that there is enough. Now, if you kneel down immediately and Tennessee State calls all their timeouts, maybe you force a punt, but even still,
hand it off.
Well,
I don't want 11 doing anything right now but handing it off or getting as close to the ground as humanly possible.
I agree. And even if you were, for some reason, forced to punt the ball, you take the snap and you run the other way for a safety. You can give up a safety and it's 35-31.
The game is over already. Technically, I mean, if you do all the right things, it should be over right now.
Tennessee State calling its second of 3 timeouts here in the second half. Well, it appears.
And Rick Comegy's asking the offensive coordinator right now. He goes, hey, listen, you understand how important this quarterback is to me, right? All right, if he goes down, I go down. And then if I go down, you go down. So let's keep him healthy, okay? How about that? I got an idea. Make it, hand it off. Matter of fact, get him out of the game.
Well, I think what you're trying to do here is you'd like to run enough time off the clock.
Oh my gosh.
And Terrio crosses the midfield stripe, and so with 6 seconds, the clock at 5.
That's so scary.
And now it brings up 4th and 7.
Third and final.
The last time Jackson State tried to hand off, there was a fumble. So I understand ball security. And now with 5 seconds, the question is, do you risk a punt if you're Jackson State because snapping has been an issue? Or do you just give it to Terrio? It's 4th down. Let him run backwards until the clock expires. He gives himself up and the ball game is over.
I think you got to punt it, and you punt it out of bounds. All right, and you use your maximum protection formation, and you tell your kicker, listen, I want you to punt the ball 15 yards forward out of bounds. I don't even care if you kick it sideways. I don't know how you're going to run off 6 seconds without putting your quarterback at risk.
Yeah. Yeah, you referenced Terrio's football IQ, and simply take the snap. You're at midfield. It's going to take him 6 seconds to run 50 yards the wrong way. Now, Tennessee State is out of timeouts. This may be one of the most riveting plays of the game.
Unbelievable.
And here he goes. Yep. It's still it's a dangerous play because Terrio is tackled and almost horse-collared. The final, Jackson State 35, Tennessee State 29. Rod Reed has now lost the last 2 Southern Heritage Classic games after Tennessee State had run off 7 in a row. Casey Terrio and the Jackson State Tigers move to 2-0 on the season. Rick Comagee gets a Gatorade bath. Meanwhile, Rod Reed ponders what might have been. We will be back to Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium to wrap up the 22nd Southern Heritage Classic on Sports South after this timeout. Well, it wouldn't be the Southern Heritage Classic if it weren't determined by 7 or fewer points. I mean, it is a remarkable stat that year after year, now 7 of the last 8 classics have been decided by 7 or fewer. Jackson State, its first back-to-back win since the mid-90s. They win it tonight, 35-29. Our FedEx game MVP, Casey Terrio. FedEx always delivers, and so does Casey Terrio. This was the first play from scrimmage for Jackson State.
Yeah, just like the week before, he starts out with a pass for a touchdown with a great read on the defense to get the ball to the wide receiver.
He loves playing in the Southern Heritage Classic. 7 touchdowns last year in this, 4 last year, 3 this year. Over 600 yards through the air, and there is your clincher as he hit Rico Richardson on a 3rd and goal from the 21-yard line. Casey Terrio, your FedEx MVP of the game. 27 of 39, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jackson State, Rod, really battled a lot of self-inflicted wounds. They had overcome a lot of penalties and some miscommunication, but Terrio persevered, and his team takes a 35-29 win.
Terrio is one of the best players in all college football, and if they can correct some of the mistakes they made concerning penalties and turnovers, they can be as good as anybody at this level.
The final score from the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, 35-29, Jackson State over Tennessee State. As we say goodnight, our thanks to Fred Jones and his entire staff at the Southern Heritage Classic for another tremendous event. Our director, Ken Neal, our producer, Andy Pollan, and my broadcast partner has been Rod Smith. I'm Pete Pranica. Thanks so much for watching the 2011 Southern Heritage Classic on Sports South.
Celebrating 20